me up. You gotta say it loud too. Turn me up a little bit more, louder. You know what I mean? You gotta reduce the words every time. Turn me up. Yeah, a little bit louder. Yeah, louder.
Puppy.
I don't want. You want to get one? Don't mess with him. Puppy's rough though.
Mom's here.
Yeah, she going to Fiji.
Puppy's still gonna be pissing everywhere though.
8 weeks.
Bella will show her the ropes.
Bella's not a
You think you
reliable
just
source.
put you think you just put the dog on layaway?
Well, they were just born a couple days ago, so they're not.
8 weeks. They can't leave for like 8 weeks.
You know what you know? How many do you?
Kids or puppies?
No, that's this one.
You can't take the kid back after 72 hours.
Take this
After
baby
72 hours, that kid's yours.
Yeah. Now you drop that bitch off smooth out of the fire station. Anyways, welcome to the Brilliant Minds of Idiots. Rio just saw that we recorded everything we were just saying for the past couple minutes. That's definitely gonna get edited out, possibly. Welcome to episode 5. I'm here with some great people. A goon squad. We got BK.
Hello.
We got Ghost.
What up?
We got Rio. And we got
what's up?
special guest, Aztec Warrior, Zeus.
What up?
Yeah, he's just gonna be ancillary. He'll pop in whenever he want to. You know what I mean? Normal.
Stealing Rio's
If
mic.
he's feeling frisky.
Ooh.
So let me get, you know what I mean? Episode 6.
First
you know?
time caller.
Yeah, long time listener, first time caller.
We got an audience, y'all.
First time listener.
This podcast is recording in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah.
Yes, we clap for ourselves.
Yes, we do.
That's not a clap. There we go.
Don't chastise the sound player. Anywho,
You know I hate those stupid
get you
ones.
edited smooth off of this whole episode.
You know what? Kiss
Episode
my
1 all over again. Nah, I didn't do that shit on purpose. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hold on. I lied. I told myself.
So
We didn't do
it
that
was
shit on
editing.
purpose.
It was
Yeah,
editing.
it wasn't an editing. She didn't want to say nothing.
Because you're mean.
Nah, yeah, a little bit. How's everybody feeling, though?
Feeling good.
Good, man. Good.
Okay.
Good. I missed y'all.
I know you've been gone 2 times.
I know.
Man, you getting cut off payroll.
Whatever.
You might be.
I made payroll.
Fair enough. I mean, you did a little bit. Just take it easy. You want to take all the credit all of a sudden? God damn. Can we have something?
Okay, you're going to have this one thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You may continue.
Where's everybody want to start? Where's everybody want to start? We usually get into the serious stuff. I mean, other than when we're talking about Robert or Juice.
Juice.
Russ was chastised by a Utah fan in Salt Lake City.
He's a professional basketball player.
Professional
Yes.
basketball
Thank
player,
you,
plays for
Ghost.
the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay.
This is
You
where
know I don't
this is
follow
where
the
the
soccer,
thunder
so.
sound would be playing right now if I had it. I came unprepared. So he was called. Somebody in the crowd said he was icing his knees. He was on the bench, and somebody said, "Yeah, get on your knees like you used to." This also has a backstory because last year in the playoffs, he almost got into a fight with a fan over something that a fan said, and then there was a time during the regular season where a fan kind of approached him while he was walking off the court while the game was ending, and he squared up.
I think that was Utah too.
Yeah, I think it was Utah too.
And with this guy, the most recent case, he responded to the guy and he said, "I'll fuck you up." He was like, "I'll fuck you up. I'll fuck you up and your wife. I'll fuck you both up."
But that was in response to the wife getting
She
in her
said
bag.
it as well.
Yeah, she got in her bag. She got into hers, and he gave her that same energy. So, as an avid sports fan, I'll let you finish I'll let you finish it up, Rio, since you brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start with Ghost. Ghost, how you feel about Russ?
I mean, this is kind of an easy one, but it just happens a lot in sports. First of all, he's one of my favorite players. It doesn't matter because it's not about basketball. He's off the court. He's on the bench. Fans, they think the better their seat there is, they got a good seat, so they can just get it in. They can get in the jokes.
Yeah.
They can get in the, the.
Can I pause you real quick?
Yeah.
wasn't Russell also accosted by a small Caucasian child earlier this year? Wasn't it Russ? It was Russ.
It was.
It wasn't
but
really.
I mean, he
that one
was,
wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't, but I mean,
But yeah, he's just
the
he's
kid
just-
that for BK for a summary on that one as well. He was standing kind of out of bounds, and it was a stoppage in play. So a child who was in the front row got up, slapped, just touched him on the back
yeah.
with force.
With force.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. He just touched him on the back, and he didn't do anything. He just looked at the kid and was like, "Yo, what are we doing right now?"
Yeah. He looked
and
at
the
the parents,
kid,
too.
the kid just looked back at his parents and sat down and.
Oh,
I mean?
he scared the poor little
Probably
kid.
put him on timeout in the front row. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
I think he told the parents, you can't let your kid go around touching people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is.
Right, I can't knock that.
Nope.
So sorry to interrupt you, Ghost.
Yeah, don't do it again. But so yeah, he I think fans. I mean, they get in the front row. They get some.
Let me
drinks
stop
in
you
them.
again. No,
If you would have seen my face. So they get in the front row. They get some drinks in them. The game was close. They probably were down at that point. They feel like they're kind of like they're Teflon in the front row. They can't be touched because they paid for these tickets, so they're going to get their money's worth. But you can't say whatever you want in the front row. They're still, they're athletes. They're rich. That doesn't mean you can just say what you want, do what you want. There's lines across. You can say things about the game, as far as if their jump shot, how their shoes, something that's fun, trash talk that you would normally say. But put it this way: if you're playing, like say you're playing at a park, you're playing outdoor basketball, just pickup games. If you're not going to say it to someone who can do something to you on the court, on the blacktop outside, then don't say it to someone on the hardwood in the front row, because you know that there's security between you two. There's multiple fans. There's other players, and they're not going to be able to do anything to you. So I think, as far as his reaction, and saying the thing about the wife, he did in an interview after say he would never put his hands on a woman, and it was emotional, and I understand that.
I think the same thing when a guy calls a woman a bitch.
They did still
Like you
find
wouldn't
him.
normally call a woman a bitch.
Yeah, they
but,
did still
you know what
find him. But then I think it was, I don't know if it was LeBron. I think it was LeBron came out and said that it might think it was LeBron. No, it was KD, his ex-teammate. Kevin Durant came out and said that if you keep finding players, fans are going to keep doing it. So I guess I can ask what you feel about that, because KD said he got fined for $25,000, and KD said by that, yeah. So
Yeah. So before we get Rio, because Rio, I think Rio's got
No, I just want to ask him something.
okay.
So Ghost, do you think what happened with Ron Artest maybe emboldened fans to see how the NBA reacted to that? And
I don't think
you
that
think
fan,
you
this
think that
specific
could play a role?
This specific fan, I don't think is knowledgeable enough. He was just in his feelings at that moment and saw an opening, saw that Russ was looking his way, and he wanted some. I think the main thing is that we have so many of these interactions with him is because he's such an emotional player, and he's kind of sensitive. So you're not gonna get a reaction out of LeBron. You're not gonna get a reaction out of LeBron.
No, that's a lie.
LeBron's
attacked.
He will.
LeBron's told people to
He
shut the
said
fuck
something.
up on the sideline before.
But
I've
you're
seen
not
the
going to
videos.
get that out of LeBron, and you're not going to get that out of probably 90% of the players in the league. You're not going to do that like with the bench guy who comes in specifically to foul people and gets. They're not going to probably say it to him, because they wouldn't say it to Kenyon Martin, because he might go in the stands. So
Kenyon Martin, BK, was a player back in
Yeah.
the mid 2000s who was a straight.
Enforcer.
He was the only man I've ever seen where I was still afraid of, and he had lips tattooed on his neck.
yeah,
Yeah, that nigga was rough, and I don't even mean to use that word this early in the show. Niggas was rough.
yeah, he had to.
Niggas was rough.
But yeah, that's how I feel
Zero
about it.
takes all that back, Kenyon Martin, if you're listening.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Kmart. I'm a huge fan. I want no smoke, none.
Okay, sorry, Ghost. I won't interrupt you again.
All right, it's all good. I was done. That was just
Well, and I do want to add a little bit more to this. So there's a video that was on social media, Ghost, where two other gentlemen were calling him boy.
Good, I'm not the only one being called out for not knowing.
They were calling him boy in the stands. That's not the dude who was banned.
So the guy in Utah, he had tweets.
Yeah, he said the N word.
That he-
Hard R.
Yeah.
Hard R. He said, "Come at me." Hard R.
after that event
Girl.
in the past
Boy,
or
past.
after.
Past.
Yeah. And he had a tweet that said Russell Westbrook needs to go back to where he came from.
Oh.
See, he's just
Yeah.
That's
So
Utah, though.
so they banned that dude. They banned another dude who was clapping at him, calling him boy in pregame, and they banned another dude where a video came out last year during the playoffs, and he was calling him boy. Here's an alert. If you're gonna start banning racist people in Utah, motherfucking clientele gonna be light.
Yeah, bring the
Light.
Mack truck.
You're not gonna be able to start. You're not gonna be able to start.
But that's a change. That's a change in the climate. That's a positive change in the climate.
And you know he's not lying because Donovan Mitchell, who is a player for the Utah Jazz, and Thabo Cephalosha, he's
French.
another player for the Utah Jazz. They both say that this is not indicative of the fans in Utah. The fact that they are saying that means that not only did they believe what Russ said, but they've heard worse.
Oh,
They've
that's even
absolutely
worse.
heard worse during games.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I believe it.
Yeah, there's no way. They know exactly how rough Utah can be. So, I thought it was. I understood why. I understood why the NBA fined Russell Westbrook, but I understand why they did it because they banned that fan for life from going to NBA games. Period. Not just Utah, but going to NBA games. Period. So.
I think there's always an opportunity to not say anything back. As tough as it is for him, being an emotional person in the moment, but I think there's always an opportunity to kind of turn around or alert security, and that's probably why they fined him. But I'm not saying what he did was wrong. So,
What about you, BK? What you got?
I do think that when you are an NBA player, you're going to have some thicker skin. There's always going to be some asshole behind you talking as much shit to get in your head. So that part kind of sucks. That you're expected to be on a higher level, I guess, as far as behavior-wise.
Do you think the money goes into that?
Maybe.
Just
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But
Seeing if the money aspect, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people say athletes as if, you know what I mean, they make all the millions of dollars, but they're not people.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very weird that everyone thinks, oh, because you're $1 million, because you make, look how much money they get for playing a game.
So you could
Look
take
how much
these
money they get
racist
for
jokes.
playing a game as if I'm not tuning in. And my cable provider, quote unquote, isn't providing me with video footage of the game. See how I worded that differently. See, episode 1 and 2, I had to cut that shit out. Episode 6, we
But
keep
it's
that
like
shit
the
in.
same thing
This
that we
is
talked
growth.
about social media being fired from your job for something that you posted on social media.
That's true, but I mean, it's not like people were getting fired over saying something like kind of bad. You know what I mean? It was.
No, I get
mean,
it.
I mean, they were firing the worst of the people,
Right.
or the people who just took it over. You know what I mean? Whether it was Hallway Hannah, where she's followed the dude all the way to his apartment because he couldn't, or you know what I mean, or the lady who called the cops on the girl who was selling
Lemonade.
water.
Water.
Oh,
And
was
she
it water?
sold weed to dogs. Yeah, you can't get mad at a little girl for selling water in the summer.
White privilege,
Yeah.
maybe.
Speak up for your people, BK.
Is it? Well, I'm
up.
looking at you and asking, is it?
I don't know.
Would you do it?
That's a yes.
Would I do that?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
What, sell weed to dogs? Or
Yeah,
You
that
sound
one's
like
so
the R. Kelly. You know what I mean? You
Right.
protesting too much.
Clone man.
Yeah. You trying to kill me? Trying to kill me? Her water wasn't safe. What you think, Rhea? What did you think about it?
I kind of feel like everybody else, you know, like I don't see anything wrong with the way he responded. I think the people that want to criticize him and say that he was wrong for saying he would whoop his wife's ass too.
Yeah.
I think those might be the same people that also say, "Oh, that wasn't a racist comment. That
Yes.
wasn't
Right.
a racist comment."
Right.
Yes.
Hold on. Can I stop? I'm gonna pause you there.
Yeah.
Because BK didn't weigh in on that. How do you feel about him threatening the wife as she begins
There
to
you go.
talk
Yeah.
shit as he engages?
If she was going to open up her mouth, she's fair game too. Sorry to say. If you're going to act like a man and step up and think that you can be one, you're going to get this shit talking right back.
Well, what about the threat of violence?
Is he really going to hit her though?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe not. The odds are not in his favor or in her favor. It's not going to happen.
His history is way too good.
That's probably why she was shit talking. The odds were a
Probably.
little bit different.
Well, I mean, everybody knows, every fan knows that none of the athletes can do anything, or else they're going to get fined, or they're going to get
Fired.
kicked out,
Or they gotta change
they're
their
gonna
name
get
to Meta World
suspended.
Peace.
You know, yeah, like, but I mean, they
Change their
just,
number, it'll be fine.
Yeah, there's just a sense of entitlement, you know, amongst fans. They say, "I paid for my ticket. I get to say whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
I get to do whatever I want to do when I'm at the game, and I get to treat these athletes like they're not people." And it's just bullshit. And I think they got what was coming to them.
What
Yes.
about the exact opposite? So James Dolan was walking inside the arena at Madison Square Garden. A fan, James Dolan is the owner of the New York Knicks.
Okay.
BK. She gave me the eyes. You know what I mean? So
And
James
mouth.
Dolan is
I
the
don't know who
owner.
James Dolan is.
Yeah, James Dolan is the owner of the Knicks.
Okay.
He was walking in the arena and a fan yelled at him, "Sell the team." And when he yelled at him, James Dolan pointed at him and said, "You're banned," and banned him from any Knick games.
See, but that's bullshit because he's just telling them that he's doing a shitty job. That's the same thing as
He's also not lying.
That goes back to my comment. That type of trash talk is fine. It's
Yeah,
just-
oh no.
If
Russ,
Russ went to the sideline and the dude was just saying, "Russ, you fucking suck. Your jumper's whack. You know,
Free
you ain't got
throws,
no
yeah,
skills.
then-
You're fucking garbage." You know, anything like that. I mean,
But he gets that all the time, and he's
that's
able to
okay.
ignore
Yeah.
that because
Yeah.
that's
That's
It's
me
not
going up to
personal.
Elway
Right.
saying, "Stop picking quarterbacks. You're not good at this."
ooh,
shots fired.
No. I'm with you. I'm reloading that clip. I'm reloading that clip. Yeah.
Yeah.
do you about to say Crip?
He
Don't,
did
don't
say
no,
Crip.
no, hold on.
Watch
this
out.
podcast is not
I did not
affiliated.
see the colors
This
flying.
podcast is very neutral.
PK, watch out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I wear purple.
Yeah. Shit, well, okay. Yeah, you know. BK was about to get it from Creo. It's Crip Rio. It's Crip Rio, the BK beef.
I thought maybe you were talking about a ghost.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought you
'cause-
said
yeah,
Creole.
No, we are Creole, though.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
But there's an E in there. You got to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
Sounds different.
Anybody else want to? Yeah. Zeus. Aztec Warrior.
So I don't really follow the NFL or the NBA quite that much. So I can
You don't follow the soccer either?
not the soccer. Yeah, I'm not a big soccer fan myself.
No, he follows soccer. He's a real Mexican.
Oh. You don't follow the baseball.
Yeah.
And I think as a professional athlete, you have to hold a certain level of professionalism. You're getting paid the big dollars. You're a figure for certain, for kids look up to you. And so you got to have that professionalism. Now, it's not okay for a fan to say those types of things to a player because, yes, they're a player and they're getting paid to be there, but they're still a human. And, they're still impulsively, you're going to react when you're, insulting somebody like that. And to insult somebody so low like that, you're really provoking them.
Yeah.
So now, it's not okay. I don't think he should have said anything. I feel like the NBA did the right thing by banning the fans. Maybe they didn't do it quick enough. Maybe they should be a little bit faster about it. Maybe take them out of the game while it's happening instead of letting them keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I do think that he didn't quite take the right approach either. But it didn't make it okay. Definitely doesn't make it okay.
I 100% agree with Zeus. 100% agree with Zeus is that it doesn't absolve. I'm okay with the back and forth with the man. The wife one kind of where I have my issue. The only issue I have with Russ is I'll beat the fuck out of you and your wife. And we all know that Russ is very emotional. I mean, if somebody helps him up on his own team, he'll still swing on that dude. So that's why a lot of people like Russ because he plays with a lot of passion. But you know what I mean? The physical violence against a woman, I understand what he was, heat of the moment. She's probably ugly. You know what I mean? You're not saying it to a white queen. You know what I mean? Not saying
Russ is.
you're not saying it to a queen.
Russ is.
Nah, she was princess.
Russ don't care.
She was a pauper.
One of the common
I'm for.
Now I'm cutting this shit out. Anyway, what you got, Rio?
The only thing, the only kind I agree with Zeus. almost all the way. The only thing I could really find with that is just when he said the role model issue, because me as a parent, it would be my hope that I could provide that role model for my own kid, or somebody in their life. I would hate for them to have to gather their inspiration from Russell Westbrook. And I understand that not all kids are given a role model. I know sometimes they do have to look for someone to look up to, but at the same time, how much of that responsibility really falls on the players?
I'm actually going to push back on you on that. I think I know you have a son. I don't have a son, so you have your word, in my opinion, carries more weight. This is just an argument. Nigga, you ain't got no shoes. You ain't on television. You know what I mean? You take your son to see Spider-Man, that nigga walking around with the rock hand trying to spray his web at you. I mean, I think it's hard for a person who, for a good father like you, who's probably going to watch sports, and or BK has a son who loves Steph Curry. I think it's hard to. I think kids are always gonna back what they see on TV early.
But is your kid is your son BK? Is he getting his morals from Steph Curry, or is he getting anything like that from him? No, because your true role models are the people that show you how to act that.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I think that's nuance. That's too nuanced for a small child.
Okay,
for a small child who's going to look at just whoever's popular at the moment. And I'm not saying morals. I'm just saying I want to be like, you know what I mean? When I'm sure when BK's son takes like a shit from long range, he's like, Curry, you know what I mean?
but if he saw
Splash Brothers.
Yeah, splash. You know what I mean?
If he saw Steph do that to a fan, he would still know that that's not right.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, okay. I could rock with you on that, because I actually will.
Well,
just
I got a question for you then.
Hold on, just to piggyback on that. Keep that thought. But
Okay.
to piggyback on that, Steph Curry walked into the crowd 2 weeks ago to calm down a issue between a fan and.
Man, I know he's a saint. I'm just saying.
As somebody who rocks my skin color, I'm championing him. I'm sorry.
That's why my son champions
But
him.
that's just for argument's sake.
Okay.
Because whoever's role model, that if one kid looked up to Russ and that was his favorite player and he saw him do that, he still knows that doing that isn't okay.
Yeah. Okay. What was your question, BK?
As a kid, who was your role model that you learned morals from as an athlete or a superstar or an actor?
We didn't have cable.
Exactly. That's what I'm
So-
saying. You didn't learn it from an.
No, it was Ice Cube. We watched Friday all day.
Oh, I do love Ice Cube.
Yeah. Today was a good day. I mean, you know what I mean? No Vaseline. I was ready to bomb on anybody who was going against me. I was ready to take all them niggas to church. You know what I mean? Like, Ghost, what was your? That's a good question. No, who was yours? Dolly Parton?
No, we didn't have cable either.
So who's your hero? Who you got your stuff from?
Audrey Hepburn. I know you don't know who that is. It's okay.
No, I know that.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were gonna say like
Somebody
Bette
cool.
Midler or somebody.
Yeah, somebody cool. Betty White.
Somebody cool.
Dang.
She's upset you don't know who Audrey Hepburn is.
Right?
I had Audrey Hepburn, but a little ointment took that shit away. Yeah, a lot of it. You know what I mean?
Your homework is to Google her.
I barely passed high school, so take an incomplete on that assignment. What about you, Ghost? Childhood hero that you got your values. I won't even say values from.
Yeah, it wasn't
because your mom is amazing.
did you look
So I
up
won't
to?
say that, and that's why I won't say with my heroes, because my hero is my mom. My mom did a lot on her own, so I can't say that. So let me go back. Who was your childhood person you looked up to that was popular?
As far as a celebrity, it would have to be. I watched a lot of sports, but it probably wouldn't be the sports side. It'd probably be
Tupac.
the music side. Yeah, it would probably be. It'd probably be someone like. It'd probably be someone like Tupac. But I mean, I didn't really
it's
have.
too young.
it
You're too
wasn't-
young.
I didn't really have. I mean, I was like.
You acting like you're a gangster. You weren't a gangster at 7. Who
was
helped
13.
raise you?
I was 13.
You weren't listening to Dear Mama. Like, yeah, man, that's my shit.
I was like 13. No, but
No, I'm not rolling. I'm not rolling.
But
I'm not rolling.
I didn't really have. I didn't look at a celebrity like that when I was growing up. It wasn't any. I didn't really have that. Like I'm looking up to someone I want to be like. It would be an athlete that I would want to be like, but not really. Not Kobe. It would be an athlete that I want to be like, but it wasn't. I wasn't really looking up to him or admiring him out off the court or off the field.
But who? Okay, so because I have some weird ones. Like Herman Moore was a. Like
random.
See, but
I know.
You're just talking favorite player now.
Yeah.
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 No, I used to throw the ball up in the air and be like Herman, and you know what I mean.
But
Put
that's sports. That's
two
what I'm saying.
fingers down.
That's what I'm saying.
Or
Not
two
off the
toes?
field or off the court. Like nowadays, since everybody's lives are so publicized, which is maybe why we don't have one. I know what Curry's doing on Twitter when he's cooking. You know, I know what everybody's. I don't know, but I hear what people are doing because they're social
Yeah,
media.
wait. I think
Ghosts
he has
don't
a
see
secret.
this.
Yeah.
Twitter or
What's
something.
what's your unknown Twitter handle that you be going? You probably be. I guarantee you be talking shit about the show on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I'm just tell the
Like
truth.
fuck that nigga Zero. Put hella O's at the end.
Trashing it.
Yeah.
Trashing it.
Them niggas is trash. see you on the weekend. You know what I mean? Yeah. As long as you keep playing it, yeah.
Bring
you
me
got-
this McChicken. We'll
You know
be
what?
fine.
I'm sure Twitter's looking at the engagements on Twitter and be like, oh, they're getting some hate. They must be hot. People nobody cares about never get hate.
Yeah,
I haven't heard Carrot Top get a negative tweet ever. That says something about his
wouldn't know.
career.
Who?
yeah. If nobody's hating on you, you're not doing nothing. You're not doing something right.
You're saying there hasn't been a negative comment made about Carrot Top?
No, not since Twitter. I'm
I
definitely back in the
doubt that.
'80s.
I doubt that.
No,
He's way too buff for him, but he'll walk up on a nigga with a prop.
That's why you have Twitter because you're not walking up on anybody.
I think Carrot Top.
That's the point of Twitter. That's what people.
I think Carrot Top will pay.
you'll pay.
Carrot Top will take the flight. $49, get your ass beat for sure. This is something we'll transition. Since we were talking about kids, Rio, do you have a hero? let me not disrespect your childhood.
Do I have a what?
A hero or a celebrity you looked up to as a child?
It's Ghost.
I mean, not really. Just I had favorite athletes or favorite actors or stuff like that, but never somebody that I thought of or like wanted to be.
You never drank Gatorade and sang that like Mike?
Nah, we never
If I
had
could be-
Gatorade at the house.
Me neither. I mean, I drank Kool-Aid like that though. I looked rehydrated and shit. I was dehydrating
He
the
just
fuck
put
out
it
of
in
my
an
kidneys.
empty Gatorade bottle.
Yeah, that means I got that shit on the floor in the public. I wasn't that poor. We had cups. Don't disrespect my mom like that, BK.
No, I never
cold.
disrespect your mom.
It's cold. But this is something we passed on last week that I wanted to talk about because BK wasn't here and Ria was the only one who had children. Anti-vaxxers. Because they're trying to get us they're trying to get themselves eliminated with like measles and the plague and shit that was eliminated before the internet.
Polio.
The internet is getting that shit right back in. The internet is on a rollout to get the measles back out. Like
It's
that's
already
nuts.
been out.
You know,
They
I mean,
had
but
a
I think
breakout
there's been
in
an outbreak.
Disneyland.
Yeah, there's been an outbreak in Disneyland, Oregon, Ohio. There's
In
been like
Washington too.
yeah, there's been like big.
I think
outbreaks.
people have died.
Yeah.
People have died from measles lately.
Yo, if I died from like polio, I don't get a motherfucking funeral. Like that's preventable.
I don't think you get. I don't think you die. You just get paralyzed, right?
I think you eventually die.
Oh, I mean, everybody does.
Oh, good shit,
They
BK.
just got
Good shit, BK. Look at you. I think you do. I think you do.
Dad jokes brought to you by BK.
You're welcome.
Well, oh, you can get all your boho jokes.
Yeah.
You a boho.
Boho. Where hoes go to be bohemian. Don't you spit on my fucking equipment. You better swallow that shit. That's what he said.
Oh, I got it. I got it all. Thanks,
Yuck.
Zeus.
Yuck. Yuck. Anywho, moving on. How how do you guys feel about anti-vaxxers just in general? Like people who think that vaccinations cause autism. Did they ever pass through you guys' mind when you guys were having kids? You guys have smaller kids, like less than a decade. So this shit is kind of like, I understand it's an uptick now, but there was a dude in Ohio who went against his mom's wishes. She's an anti-vaxxer. He did his research. He went out and got vaccinated at like 16, 17, or 18. No, he just turned 18. And he went and got vaccinated on everything. And he was trying to educate his brothers brothers and sisters to make the decision on their own.
What? I think he was a minor.
No. He was 18 when he finally started getting vaccinated, though.
Oh.
He did his research.
I don't think he needs his mom to get him.
In Ohio, you do. There's like Oregon, you don't need you'll need parents' permission to get vaccinated. Certain states do, though. Y'all didn't know I knew facts.
Be reading and shit.
Shit's kind of rare.
It is.
The more you know. I argue feelings. Can't change my feelings. So how do you guys feel about anti-vaxxers?
I'm not a big. I have vaccinated my son, and never once thought to not vaccinate him ever. So people risking other people's health for it, it makes me a little irritated.
Just a question. So if you're vaccinated for the measles and a bum comes into class with measles, can you still get it?
No.
You shouldn't.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure
Not
that
supposed to be
there's
able
like
to.
a percentage that you possibly could, but
Yeah, they got the LeBron James measles.
right. The probability of it happening, not so much.
Space Jam 2. What about you, Rio?
I definitely thought about it because, so I will start by saying that my son is vaccinated, but I did think about it. I did think about it because I have a general distrust of the government. I don't think that everything they tell us is the truth. I think that there are things out there that
I don't think we needed.
I think there's things out there that they don't necessarily tell us. So
Hold on. When you say that, I need you to like whisper it though. You know what I mean?
No.
I'm trying to get to episode 7 with all the property and shit. You know what I mean? My job and all. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get a audit all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden the IRS is just looking into my back taxes, like, oh, you didn't. You were claiming Popeyes as an expense. Say, oh,
Yeah.
therapy. Yeah, it's therapy. It's medical. I'm just trying. You know what I
Feed
mean?
my
Rio?
soul.
you asked for what I did and why. So
I just
I'm
wanted you
telling
to censor yourself, though. You know what I mean? We got a platform. We got to use it responsibly in order, you know what I mean, to keep this shit alive. Like,
Well,
I know you here for the truth.
That's what I got for you. So, I mean, it definitely gave me pause, and I did space my son's shots out because I didn't want him to get so much shit pumped into him at once. So I did make sure to do that, and you know, it does. I think it does help, or it kind of caused this second guessing because we know people with kids who have autism, and it's so unexplainable that, I mean, I think, and it's scary as a parent too, like thinking that your kid, you would have no idea they could be 4 years old and get diagnosed with autism. So
Right.
I mean,
Okay, see, I was actually going to ask you a follow-up question, whereas when you have autism, wouldn't you know beforehand, but how could you know when he's not talking?
Right.
And his facial features and everything are still developing. So you're saying, just to recap, you're saying that the initial vaccinations where because once you vaccinate, you kind of vaccinate, right? In your mind.
I mean, yeah, I guess in my mind, but in my mind, I never truly told myself I wasn't going to get him vaccinated. I just thought, what was the best way that we could make it so it wasn't so hard on his body?
Right.
So what we decided to do was space the shots out.
See, because I was thinking just in general, how because I thought autism was a gene development
It may be.
abnormality. I'm trying to be.
And it might be, but
kind
the
of-
vaccinations could possibly mutate it too and have it come on later.
I didn't think about that.
So what they say.
The more you know.
So what they say is that there's some ingredients in some shots that are particularly harmful to us, and I forgot what one of them's called, but they say that mercury's used in them, and it even says on the like ingredients label for the shot, it will say that there's mercury in it, and it starts with the T.
High
but I
fructose
can't
corn
think of
syrup.
it. Yes.
High fructose corn syrup. There's an all out assault on high fructose corn syrup. I don't know what the other sugar. I don't know if it's stevia or real sugar, but whoever doesn't like high fructose corn syrup is whooping that ass right now. You got Bud Light trying to talk about that one got not brewed with high fructose corn syrup. Maybe that's why it tastes trash.
Do better.
Yeah, maybe put some of that shit in there. Maybe give it a little bit more taste.
Anyway,
Man, I want this podcast to be brought to you by Bud Light. So,
do better.
yeah. Don't do better. Send a check.
That would
We
be
got-
doing better.
Look, we don't got no morals until we get a check. Once we get a platform to stand on, then I'm standing firm on that shit. But I got to recoup first. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get some 1099s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, everyone being quiet. Oh, here we go with the arguments about the splits. Look at you. Oh, I'm not saying shit. I'm just trying to get my own. The true. Look at Ghost. Look at you.
Look out for the Rio show coming.
Damn, look at you.
Podcast
Use me as
meeting.
a stepping stone. Damn, the temptation. See, I brought that all the way around. Temptation. Pop. If I wouldn't get hit with a copyright lawsuit, play that shit right now.
Just imagine it.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
It's free promo. It's free promo.
It is.
I'm just saying. Has anybody here went back and watched the MJ doc?
Yes. And I watched both, you lazy bum.
No.
Can I ask some questions about part 2?
I
Fill
got
us
cliff
in.
notes. What you need?
Do they ever address why they testified against Mike?
No.
Do they ever address why they lied initially?
Yes.
What was their initial lies?
Watch part 2.
No, this is one you can spoil. We're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
For another 2 hours, shoot myself smooth in the face. I do not want to hear them talk romanticizing.
Was there any other accounts from outside people besides?
Not. It still just follows the two
The two and their
Initials.
mothers
and their moms,
grandmother.
and
They
then
threw
their
the-
wives.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then their kids.
Oh, they talk about their kids. What their kids gonna
Well,
know?
the kids were. Yeah,
Well, their kids are little.
No, but
They
what
weren't-
would their kids
they weren't
know?
around.
No, just that their dads are fucked up.
Oh, they're
Damn,
like
their 6-year-old kid is talking about that.
their character.
No.
Oh, damn, I feel bad now. I should have watched episode 2 before I talked about how bad the dog was.
The kids don't talk, but they just talk about how the cycle of molestation could possibly affect their kids. It's a higher rate statistic of people that are molested will molest their children.
I hear that, but anybody who's hurting doesn't say that.
They did.
I hear what you're saying. Anybody who's hurting doesn't say that. You don't recognize you're hurt and be like, in the future, I might, you know what I mean, touch your kid.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's rough.
To get a check, you might
That's a good.
get that check.
That's what I'm just saying. When you,
I agree with that.
oh, you know, I have a kid now, and if I didn't watch part 2, so I'm just.
That's something you
riffing.
say
But that's
after you
a-
get caught. That's something you
Yo,
say
man,
from
if
prison.
BK is lying right now and she got me standing out on this ledge by myself looking like the chick from Titanic, I'll be so mad.
That's a crazy fact, though.
You know what I'm saying?
I never knew that if somebody was molested, they're more likely to.
I knew that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
As somebody who
Damn, Rio, do some reading.
yeah, has some intimate knowledge of people who've had it, yeah, I do. I knew that. I think it's just like with everything, though. Somebody who's, parents have been to jail, I think statistically kind of, broken household stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Robert.
Just like R. Kelly. Same thing.
No, Robert. You had it right.
Robert.
Yeah,
Robert.
Robert.
He's Robert. Yeah.
Robert Leopold
about
R.
it by
Kelly
his
or whatever,
stage name,
or
man.
Robert
Leopold.
Leopold
Kelly.
Kelly
Something.
Kellinson. I don't know what his real name is. I'm just saying. I can't give him his artist name anymore. I just can't. It's trash.
No.
But yeah, they talked about
Double Jeopardy me.
the concern that the wives now had learning that their husbands both flipped on their answers and what it would affect their children.
I always thought it was they should have addressed why, when, and just all the other stuff, the other elephants in the room. Is my opinion. That's just my opinion. I can't tell these people. And like I said, Mike is not the guy I'm caping for as if he didn't do it. That's not what I'm caping for. What I'm saying is they just didn't put any evidence. Only thing they did was recount their encounters.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I heard that there were like pretty good examples that they gave of like they gave a intimate look at the kind of relationship that they had with Michael. Like
Yeah.
I did hear one clip. I didn't watch the doc, but I heard a clip and it was saying that one of the guys was saying, I guess he would always hold hands with Michael, and they used to pet the inside of each other's palms.
Yeah.
I still think all that stuff could be happening and it not happen because Mike was so weird. And
I
20
almost
years
feel like
later,
that's a cop out though.
20 years later,
I feel like
you
that's
can
a
kind of get your
cop-out.
story together.
But most weird people like that are probably doing some weird shit.
Yes,
Most likely.
maybe. I think tickling the palm is some weird shit. I'm not saying that he didn't do weird shit.
I don't think you're tick on the palms.
yeah,
and
yeah,
I
that's
think
where
it
it
was
stops.
more than that.
I don't think you're tick on the palms, and that's where it stops.
I don't think so either.
Exactly.
I don't think so either.
But it's not funny. But I mean,
But it's kind of funny.
he told the story.
It turns
But,
in like this to this.
But it's just, and that's what makes this rough is that they could be traumatized. All these things could be true.
I'm not saying
yeah.
that. I'm not saying they're.
But
I'm
just
not
the
saying they're not true.
timing and the
Yeah.
credibility.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not true.
and
I was just judging the doc.
It's just
I,
The
if you
doc
just come
was
out,
trash.
If you come out and just say it in a, like where it's not a platform to where you're making some money and getting some attention, then I don't think anybody would doubt it because you have nothing to gain. But
Yeah.
and like I said, if they're
Do they
if
got a
these are
book
true,
coming out or
that's what they might.
One of them was trying to sell a book
think they
before
do.
this documentary.
yeah, see,
And
yeah.
so
I'm just saying there's just. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it's not true.
Okay.
Because the R.
Well,
Kelly
one of them
people, the R.
doesn't
Kelly
need
ladies,
the money though.
yeah, but the R. Kelly ladies were doing tours and they were making money off of, you know what I mean? Granted, they were trying to assist and they weren't really making money on a selfish level. They weren't making money on a selfish level because they were trying to have discussions about with ladies who were victims of sexual assault and this kind of thing. So they were kind of trying to collect their coins while also adding some type of positivity to the world. So is that any different than a guy, than one of the gentlemen writing a book, writing about somebody who can't defend themselves and so on and so forth? In my mind, yes, but I can listen to the argument where somebody's saying no. When it comes to Mike, I'm not staunch in anything. Because yes, he was a great artist, but he also had a lot of stuff he was fucked up on. Nobody talks about how he hated his own blackness. We kind of forget all about that. It just becomes the normal shit that Mike did. The normal shit is bleaching your skin, busting your nose up 50 times like Kim Kardashian, and creating a whole different face. That's the normalest shit that Mike
The
did.
evolution of Michael Jackson.
Yeah. He goes from getting a Jerry curl caught on fire to using sunblock all the time. What the fuck? You know what I mean?
And a higher SPF than I have to
It
use.
was vertigo, or whatever it is.
Of the Sammy Sosa?
No, it was Sammy bleached himself.
So did he. Fuck out of here, real. He did too. He did too. Start pressing his hair and everything. He had the hot iron and everything. Nah, fuck that nigga. Nah, Mike was a great artist, but that nigga was weird on a lot of levels
Yeah.
that we just accept now
Yeah.
because we think that he touched children. So 50-50 chance,
Yeah.
right? But we just accept a lot of shit that Mike did because that is the least of his problems. Like if R. Kelly would just stack some other shit on, I don't know what the fuck would happen. That's what I mean.
Mike just didn't sing about it. That's where he got.
You right. You right. Mike didn't give us 7 albums of assault.
No, he didn't.
Also, he didn't give us.
That's gonna be R. Kelly's greatest hits.
Well,
He gave us
Heal the
He
World
gave us Thriller.
was a little bigger than.
Yeah.
So are the kids too.
But you know
Terrible motherfucker.
That is gross.
You know what I think the biggest difference is between these two people, and I mean they're both equally as bad. I mean everything we know that they've both done bad things, but I think the biggest difference is that Michael he's long gone. He's dead. He can't defend himself.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can be done about it. You know, it is what it is. All these people want to come out now when there's nothing that can be done. You know.
Yeah,
Well,
it's easy. It's easier to
it's
get your
easier
story
now.
off because there's no
Right.
He's an
defense.
easy target.
And,
Yeah.
and you know, with R. Kelly's still around. He's still trying to make music. He's still trying to do what he's trying to do.
Yeah, still
And
trying to violate women.
Right.
what he's
Still
trying
trying to
He still has his camp. you
rack
know,
up some
still-
victims.
Oh, this camp. R. Kelly Records.
But,
He's gonna
you know,
open up a summer camp this year.
There's still that opportunity where they can ruin him, and rightfully so. He should be.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
you know that I think that's the biggest difference between these two people.
I'm rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm rolling. It's the bigger difference is one can defend himself and one can't.
Well, he did defend himself though twice and escaped it both times. So
So Robert, that shit don't mean nothing.
that's what I'm saying.
Well, the family's trying to get they were trying to get off TV.
Well, I guess there's a report saying that HBO signed an agreement that they would never air anything negative about Mike.
I believe it.
You gotta remember, for as weird as that nigga is, that dude is a great businessman.
Protect
He
the
bought
assets.
he bought the Beatles album.
Yeah.
He owns a large stock of Sony's whole catalog, which music makes a lot of money initially when the album comes out and you can sell the tour and if somebody has a 360 deal, but they make the majority of their money on
Like the syndication.
Royalties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
royalties. Yep.
royalties. When you don't own your music, and I can still play I Believe I Can Fly whenever I want, and the streaming money comes to me, R. Kelly owns pennies on that. You know what I mean? I forgot what company, or I think it's RCA. RCA. I think it's RCA.
RCA?
I think RCA owns his catalog. I could be wrong on that. Don't give a fuck about what R. Kelly splits. But you know what I mean? That's kind of, you know what I mean? Mike was buying one of the biggest bands in the history of audible listening. And with Mike having his own masters as being one of the biggest pop stars ever, he's a good businessman. He's just a weirdo.
Yeah.
I think Mike was trying to buy Marvel before Disney picked them up. And the only reason why the deal didn't go through is because that's when some accusations came out about his molestation stuff. And so that's when
One of those
Disney
came from.
came through and swooped them up. But otherwise, he would have had Marvel too.
Oh, Disney put those out.
And you think Mickey
And R.
was like,
and R.
Disney
Kelly
set
set
him
up the
up.
cruise.
you think Mickey was like, he touched boys, ha ha. Oh boy, keep your kids away, ha ha.
Yeah, Disney.
Wait, didn't he have like Disneyland like at his house? Oh,
Yeah,
were they
Neverland.
mad that
Neverland.
Neverland
Neverland.
existed?
Yeah,
It's
I
competition.
told you it was
were there
B. He was
Jackson
B.
dollars? Was there MJ dollars?
And you redeemed him for a prize up in his room.
Dang.
Or
you
the
think,
train station.
you think he-
or
you know what I
the
mean?
arcade. Or
Petting
oh, you
zoo.
didn't watch episode 2. That's right. Sorry.
do you think that he had like where you could, you know how when you change your oil, you could put your oil on the curb to recycle it? You think he had Jerry Curl where you could bring your Jerry
Soul
Curl juice to
Glow.
his house and recycle it? And he give you 5 Mike MJ dollars. Good for one moonwalk.
He refines it and reuses it.
Soul Glow is
Yeah.
brought to you by MJ.
Good goodness. That's terrible.
Okay.
I do want to say though that a little bit of respect should be put on Mike's blackness because he did make
best music.
Thriller.
they don't want us or they don't like
They
us.
don't care about us.
Oh, yeah, he
They
did.
don't
Yeah.
care about us.
Yeah.
It's a really racially charged song and it's really pro-black.
He has a lot of
he-
political.
yeah,
he has
he-
a lot of
yeah.
political
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah, so I mean,
A bunch of 'em, yeah.
Even though he may have bleached his skin, he's
That
still
cancels it out.
nah.
That cancels.
You can't look like Madonna and sing about blackness. Do we want to take a break before we get into the foolery? Because I feel like there's a lot of foolery coming on this.
There's not any right now.
Nah, Mike is.
I mean, he did it to himself.
That's
He's just-
yeah. That's mental health thing as well, which mental health is very popular now. So there was a FBI investigation about rich people paying their way
my
into.
Fuller House.
Oh,
I thought you look. I thought it was real.
No, not.
I thought
too.
somebody related to you just
Yeah.
got taken.
we
got
all
the
were
perp
looking
walk.
like.
Yo, you talk about fake shit. I thought you were talking about real shit. I
Your
thought she
face
was like,
was priceless. Why is everybody Mickey Mouse?
BK, break me out. Ha ha. That's what your aunt was saying.
Why is everybody Mickey Mouse to you?
Disney theme.
Disney owns this fucking podcast too. What do you think?
Ooh, I would like a season pass.
Oh no, we just get to stay alive.
Yeah.
500
Yeah.
churros.
Disney is still a conglomerate.
Yes.
Let's not act like they're just passing out season passes for you. No, you get to play Snow White on the park. That's how you get in for free. Yeah.
No lunch. No sitting down.
I
Yeah,
get to play
right.
Megatron.
No churro at all.
No.
Oh, I don't want the
Actually,
no,
churros.
you
you
The
get-
gotta
no,
churros,
you
make them. You
the-
gotta make
yeah.
them after your shift.
Nah,
is
in
the
order-
churros for my kid.
No, in order for me to get Megatron's body, they allow me 3 churros per 8 hours. They allow me to transform into Megatron.
You know that's at Universal Studios, right?
I didn't want to correct him.
I told you I didn't have cable. What makes you think I've been to Universal Studios or Disneyland? That's cold,
The
man.
fact
Y'all
that
just
you
got
were
rubbed
talking
in.
about it.
Damn.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Do it to yourself. You're self-inflicted.
He's cutting us all off.
You want to battle, bro? We can go. Yeah. Shit get real out
You
here.
got a gun?
Of course I do.
These.
Of course I do. No, I mean, was anybody shocked that rich people pay their way for their dumbass? I mean, the
No.
Trumps went to college, all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So was anybody?
his dad was a
Shot?
a big donor to wherever he went.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gave him $1 million.
I mean, he bailed his sons out multiple times.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that because that nigga's still president.
Yeah.
Once that
He's
nigga,
gonna
if
find
he
us.
ever gets out of office,
Open fire.
you know what I mean? Oh, if he ever leaves,
Wild Wild West.
you know what I mean? I don't even got anything for it. I just, you know what I mean? It's for the show. Wink, wink.
Tune in.
No, we don't hate. No, you know what I mean? Good president. You know what I mean? Roll eyes. Wink. You know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm talking about. We just trying to stay in play. I feel like we regular ass people. I get it. These views are expressed by 0 and 0 only. See what I do for you?
Appreciate that.
See what I do for you? Not BK. BK good anyway. But see what I do for you, Ghost in Rio?
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah. But so just a recap on what happened, Ghost, because I know you weren't on the, you know what I mean? So what happened was
because it's
yeah.
It made the news.
yeah, this is big deal. So
Oh, you knew?
the FBI, talking about the paying the way to get to college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh. I didn't know how much
Dang.
stuff.
yeah, I didn't know how much you turn on your television.
I mean, I know some stuff.
It's still black. I didn't know you pay your light bill.
He's drinking and he knows things.
I'm enlightened.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Exactly. No,
So
yeah,
so
can't
you-
be surprised though.
Yeah, was
You
anybody
can't-
shocked?
Can't be.
Not one bit.
No.
No.
I will be shocked if any of these people get jail time.
Yo, if the aunt from Full House goes to jail,
That'd
She
be
did go
dope.
to jail.
hilarious.
She wasn't in there for very long,
That'd
but she
be
did
dope.
technically
so
went
did
to
R.
jail.
Kelly, but he's going to
Yeah.
jail.
Well, he had
He's in
Valencia come
prison.
down.
Yeah.
He's going to prison. You know her
Isn't
name?
that the chick's name that bailed him out?
Oh, I thought it was a STD or something. And it's contagious. He had to go. I didn't know what Valencia was. Yeah, I'm not shocked that dumbass kids that are rich still get privilege.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Were we shocked at the celebrity's name? Because there was actually a big.
More and more keep coming out. Like
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
day.
they said the investigation's still going.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you can go back to Abraham Lincoln on this shit. I think this shit is new.
Did you see or did you read like the wiretapped conversation that the aunt from Full House had with one of the representatives?
Lori
from
Laughlin.
Aunt,
Did you see that
Aunt
Lori?
Becky.
Did you see that Lori Laughlin's kid, when the day she got arrested, was on a boat with a USC trustee?
Oh, wow.
That's your peeps.
She's still.
Did
She's
she
still
pay?
enrolled.
I don't know if she paid.
She was sucking some dick.
Oh, damn, Rio.
This nigga's comfortable on episode 6. Comfortable as shit. We didn't even take a break yet. God damn.
Wow.
Yeah, so Lori Laughlin's kid was
She's
taking
May or may not have been sucking
this
dick.
nigga real.
Yeah.
Shattered the whole.
breaking
God
news.
damn.
That's for breaking news right there.
God damn, I wasn't expecting that.
No, it caught me off guard. Collect
She's still
yourself.
enrolled. She's still enrolled at USC.
Yeah, she's not going nowhere.
Yeah, she's.
Oh, hold on. So when this came out,
It's got to be awkward.
this
No, don't do that.
yeah, no, fuck that. No, just because nobody wants to go to fucking your schools.
Right.
USC is
Look
the
what
fucking,
they're willing to do to get in
yeah.
USC.
Where is the actress supposed to send her school other than the best theater school in the nation? USC, my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever you tell yourself. I mean,
I ain't go there, so fuck it.
exactly.
I don't feel shit. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just a mug on my desk. You know what I mean? Got that shit from the Goodwill.
But did you see that the kids were signed up for sports that they had no?
No intention
Yeah,
of
that's the
playing.
most skills are
That's how,
canoeing.
but that's how you know that's how you know that paying NCAA players, you could do that shit.
Yeah.
You gotta do that shit.
One kid got a basketball scholarship, and they listed him as 5 or 6'4", and he was 5'5".
I dunk all
Oh
over
my
it.
god.
Dunk
Never
all over
played,
it.
never suited
It was
up.
mostly
never
like
practiced.
tennis and soccer and like canoeing. They would just sign them up for these random sports.
Canoeing?
Yo, rowing.
Just
When
random
they
shit,
said
yeah.
rowing, I was like, you know what I mean? No, I've never seen nobody be like, oh yeah, I'm a rowing captain. Maybe that's because he's above my pay grade, but you know what I'm saying?
You didn't
I've
have a
been around a
capital
lot
crew?
of people. Huh?
You didn't have a capital crew or a crew team at your high school?
I didn't have water in my pool at my high school. I don't know if they still got water in the pool.
My bad.
We used to throw a bonfire rally in the pool. This is not a joke.
School sponsored?
Yes.
Yikes.
Yes.
Right? Yikes.
We throw siding from the fucking portables in the fire.
Don't go in the pool. I've seen how this ends.
Yeah, we never had. No, our wildest thing we did was square dancing because you had to hold a girl's hand in junior high. No, not yours, nigga.
I was trying to help.
Does it come with the Hyundai? It's come up. But me and my wife were having actually a pretty good conversation about this. My wife and I were discussing because the kids don't make any money and they didn't really commit these crimes. But at the same time, my wife was like, anybody who went to school with these allegations against them and they got their degree, she thought they should be invalidated.
Ooh.
I said
They should be
it's-
what?
They should be invalidated.
No more degree.
oh.
I said no because they still took the test and did the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can't.
Don't
in
punish
my
the
mind,
kids because I'm sure that
And the
they
teachers didn't know
honestly,
either.
Yeah, they probably didn't
The
have
teachers
a
would
clue.
have to know for that to be.
Yeah.
teachers
Very
probably
true.
knew a little bit.
Not all their teams.
Maybe.
Not all of them.
You can grade a couple papers and realize that nigga dumb as shit. At Yale.
Lori McLaughlin, what's her name?
Lori Laughlin.
Yeah. She was, they always,
disrespect my
anytime
aunt.
something happens, they go back and look at your tweets. Like we were talking about earlier. Anytime somebody does something, then they go back and look at their tweets.
Oh,
So,
she
they
was
bring
like,
it up.
"Hey, nigga, we in here."
Yeah,
USC.
she was saying how she was like completely absent in high school. Like I was never in school, like saying and all this stuff.
Lori Laughlin's kid.
Yeah, the one that she paid to get her in, and they were paying like $200,000 was the minimum,
Goodness.
and up to $6.5 million.
Oh, that kid is dumb as fuck.
So they must have really just,
$6.5 million. You trying to fund the whole lacrosse
and then
team?
they were on top of it because it's like there's levels. So on top of
Yo,
it,
hold on. How the fuck does Ghost know so much about this? And you don't use the internet.
I just know stuff.
That shit's not in the newspaper. You're not getting the Sacramento Bees delivered to you, and you're just
I don't
reading
get
up on
Sacramento
this.
Bee. Is it still around?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Don't be a bee.
Ooh, relief.
No, but but they were
Nice
for the
callback.
SATs. They were giving them extensions and breaks and ACTs.
They had the SAT grader person sit there and correct their tests.
Yeah, and they were saying some of them had learning disabilities,
Oh my
and
god.
that was how they were
Yeah.
getting through them
Hold
getting
on.
lower
That,
scores.
that could be true. That could be true.
But not
No,
a
they
legitimate
lied.
one. They were just
Oh.
dumb. That's not a
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
disability.
Stupidity is not a disease.
So there's a few gentlemen who were with the Adidas scandal for paying athletes to go to certain schools who just got charged. Where are the upper class people who are going after these people like they do after athletes who go to North Carolina and take archery and field hockey and theater studies and bowling and so on and so forth? I haven't seen any people come out with that. Where's the people who come out and say, oh, well, at least they got their degree, so we shouldn't pay a college athlete. So you're just okay with LL? Kids, dumbass kids getting a sports scholarship? That lets me know that athletes support schools so much more than we actually know.
Yeah.
If you're willing to give up a scholarship for a motherfucker who just is dumb and just paid you $6.2 million, that's a drop in a bucket compared to what Tim Tebow did for Florida.
Yeah. I've been saying that for a while. They bring the reason that you got that new.
Nigga, it's episode 6 though. Nobody knows you've been saying it for a
Now
while.
they know.
Oh, okay.
I've been saying it for a while. Like that new science lab, that new track you got, when they're talking about adding to these stadiums and adding to the schools, that's the sports program.
Yeah.
They brought to you by
Yeah.
your football team. That's what that is. So, especially the bigger schools, of course.
Yo, does anybody cancel the Aaron Hernandez Hall?
Did they
They
have one?
cancel it. They didn't have Aaron Hernandez Hall.
I mean, he brought a lot of money there. Will you give it back?
That's Urban Meyer.
He's gonna be the coach at USC. That's on the sports. That's on the Sports Outsider podcast predictions.
But yeah, I mean, I like for once to see, even though they may or may not get, they probably won't get any punishment. But I like the affluent to be under
Who
the
does more
microscope
time?
for.
Who does more time? Robert Kraft or Lori Loughlin?
Laughlin.
Yeah, she ain't as rich.
Yeah. Oh, you know what though? Another twist is
That's the Robert
Another
Kraft
twist.
special.
Oh, yeah, he got the twist.
Twist
twist.
and
You got the
pull.
twisty.
Twist and pull.
Is
Yo,
that
what do you hold
they-
on before we go? What do
Yeah.
you think Robert Kraft actually wore?
A robe.
Oh.
You think he wore? You
Patriots
think he
robe.
wore Patriots full garb?
No, he still wore his
No.
blue
think-
suit, his red tie, and that fucking ugly shirt
Nah, he had a jumpsuit like an
But he-
Adidas
with
jumpsuit.
rhinestones.
I think he
The
had
pull-aways.
Oh, he had
That's ready to go.
He had pull.
They close the
Imagine.
door and just,
easy access.
You think he had commandos or depends?
Oh no, I think he probably put like his
But it's good.
His
But it's
good
Patri-
leopard
it was
print.
playoffs.
Yeah.
So he had
Yeah.
some Patriots.
I don't think so. Think about if the baby oil
or
gets
he
caught
looks,
on that.
He looks like a Mr. Nose kind of guy. He had the Mr. Nose bottoms on, where
I
it
don't
has
know what
the
that
face
is.
and the nose is.
Oh,
Wow.
He got the elephant.
I don't think
he
he
looked
is.
like
Dress
he
up.
looked like one of those guys.
I,
Yeah.
I think he went
And it's
straight
like
commando.
it's like in a business attire too. Like it has a top hat.
It's and a tie. It's got a
On
bow
the-
tie.
On the waistband,
Yeah.
he got a fedora. The tag is a feather.
Yeah. Yep.
I think he went commando.
Okay. Tearaways and
Yeah.
Commando?
Yeah.
Just
Two times in 24 hours, he went commando.
What?
I don't think he. I don't even think he
ready for a
showered.
quick escape. You never know what's going to come your way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't have to
cross,
redo all
tearaway,
those snaps,
good to go.
though.
Some
I don't-
slip-on flip-flops.
Yes.
You just
I don't think he changed.
the Chappelle show when he just
flop it over the top.
I think the only thing he changed was the Bentley.
he did change that.
I think the only thing he changed was the Bentley. I don't think he even took a shower.
What do you think he had on, Ghost?
I think
What do you imagine?
that's what I was gonna say. I definitely don't imagine. Definitely don't imagine it. That's not that. That's not good soundtrack.
Oh, I'm sorry.
None of them are good.
None of them.
Because I'm not imagining Robert Kraft. I don't want a soundtrack to try to create a memory every time I hear it. No. No, I mean he probably had like I figure he had like a is that funny? That soundtrack to
Disrespect.
so now when the Robert Kraft tape comes out, I'm gonna be playing that soundtrack in my head.
Oh, isn't that a Shazzy sound?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta change it. Now you gotta
Disrespected
change it.
Shazzy.
See? You got a soundtrack
I'm
happy.
so my bad, Shaz. Man, my bad.
I feel like he just had his now you might as well run it. Yeah, probably. I feel like he had a Patriots like a robe.
You think he got out of the Bentley in a robe and slippers?
Yeah, just some. Yeah, a cigar.
You respect his gangster way too much.
I mean, that's
it was
his,
in a strip
but
mall.
that's his palace. That's his place, though. When he goes there, he's got the
Yeah,
special
it's like
parking.
home.
He's
It's
got
like
the
home.
back entrance.
Yeah.
He probably
The
got
craft special.
like the dry ice coming in, like
Just
he's
the
coming out the
blue
tunnel.
box.
He's coming out the tunnel.
Didn't he only pay like $60 for this?
He's a
80,
regular.
80
100
with the
tip,
tip.
though.
He had a robe on for $60.
He gave her a
Yeah,
$100 tip.
He's comfortable. He's
the
wanting to be
tip.
comfortable.
It was one
Just
of
the
those
tip,
NFL
though.
shop robes, though.
Wait.
It wasn't like something fancy. It was just
Nah, he's got the $60.
oh,
Did they
much
give?
ever?
Did he give two $50 tips? Or did he give
that's a good
$200
point.
tips?
That's a
Nobody
good
talks
point.
about the
Yeah,
total
it
tips.
just says 100.
No.
He went 2 times in 48 hours.
One got 100. I don't know what the other one
Oh,
got.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He went 2 times in 24 hours. I added an extra day on there unnecessarily.
I wonder if those women knew that he was a billionaire.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Yes. Because it's not
And they
a
only
poor
got
people.
tipped $50. That has to hurt. That has to hurt.
When it comes to Rob, I give him R Craft. He gets the nickname now. when it comes to R Craft, so you guys honestly think Lori's doing more time than Rob?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the twist that we kind of got away from. If you
Oh,
want to talk about that stuff. Yeah, you want to
About
talk about that
Shazzy.
soundtrack.
It's not Shazzy this time. She's not here. These are about ghost memories,
No.
and I want to make them
remember.
as pleasant as possible.
But for those charities, for the schools, when they were paying for their kids, they acted like they were donating to a charity. But what they were really doing was obviously paying the college. But on top of that, they wrote those off on their taxes.
Oh.
So that's now federal. So that could
That's
be,
where you
and they've
done
done it for
fucked
a
up.
while. So that could possibly actually get them a minimal amount of time, which would be more than correct.
What if the charity is?
But they
Right,
know the
I mean,
money didn't go there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The money went to.
Yeah.
They're not going to get
There's
the
no
money.
way
They're
around
not going
that
to get in the
one.
school if they would give
There
it to the charity.
I think there was like a company that funneled the money to the
Yeah.
schools.
So that's and somebody
Trump steaks episode. Next year. I get you.
So that could possibly be
I
some
don't get
problems.
to say what Robert Kraft wore.
Oh,
I thought you did. I thought you said he wore the whole uniform with the cleats, and he went in with
no,
the helmet.
he
Red
had
tie.
his stupid outfit. His
Yeah, you said a
You're
suit.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, just kidding. I had a better answer.
Oh, what's your new answer?
Just 6 rings.
oh wow, that's awful.
Why are you acting like he can't jerk off with one ring?
And
I do it all the time.
Oh my god.
the only way that could truly be uncomfortable is if you wore the rings backwards.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe
He
that's just ribbed.
designed
For,
them.
maybe that's just ribbed for his pleasure.
Yes, he designed them to
Not with
work
those
for
diamonds.
Yeah, no, it's
You don't know his life.
him. Oh, dude, are those blood diamonds?
That's got to cut up your skin.
Yo, those blood diamonds.
Yeah. See?
I feel like this is a deep dive into
That's exactly what he said.
a deep dive into the Robert Kraft.
Yuck. Yuck.
goings of the. This is like a full. We're doing a full like 60 minutes, like a ID channel.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. We're gonna go ahead and take a break, and we'll listen to the BK boho. Yo, is Robert Kraft a boho?
He's whatever he wants to be.
Nah,
A bare hand owner operated.
And handler.
Yeah, she handled it.
Yeah.
Did she though?
He
She only
definitely-
got a $50 tip.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's exactly what he wore to Orchids of Asia. He wore sassy inspired tank tops
Oh dang.
with shorts and flip flops with earrings.
and a scarf.
He actually went to the Bad Kitty T-shirt boutique. Listen to this commercial coming up right now. This ad. This is exactly what you too could get a handy. Play your cards right.
Oh my god.
You get 6 rings. All from the Bad Kitty T-shirt boutique.
And a box of mac and cheese. And some singles.
You've gone too far.
This episode is brought to you by the Bad Kitty T-shirt boutique. Cute and sassy t-shirts, tank tops, and other boho-inspired accessories. With multiple styles for men, women, and children. Everyone has a place at the Bad Kitty T-shirt boutique. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
You got to be like, oh, Tupac was my hero. Yeah, you right. You don't get to roll. No, I'm not rolling. I'm not rolling, Ghost. Nah.
I need that Thug Life tattoo.
Yeah, you don't get to say that with no
Cross
ink.
with knuckles.
You ain't had a dear mama or a Brenda got a baby or
Let me
nothing.
see
You don't
your
get to
record.
say that.
Let me see your record.
Yeah, you don't got a track. When does Ghost? Yeah, when does Ghost get? You know what I mean? His EP. You gotta come out with an album.
What's the album?
He doesn't exist. How is he gonna put out a fucking album?
Play the game in the league. What's that to do with it?
He's a
That's why I said Ice Cube.
SoundCloud rappers are
That's
doing
why I
it.
said
Can't
Ice
relate to
Cube.
him either.
Yeah,
Man,
very
today was
true.
a good day, man. You
Very
just
true. Ghost got
Why
some good
can't I?
You can't relate. I mean, he went to college and you played basketball. And you rapped and you've been in movies. Let's find something that
No,
you
I
did.
acted. You know how many times I gave a Grammy-nominated acting job to out of an ass whooping?
No.
That's how bad it was. A Grammy doesn't even give you for acting. That's how good I was. That's how good my shit was.
I'm feeling it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Nothing about you
Ice
screams
Cube.
Ice Cube.
Yeah, I mean, but you gonna attack me while I'm in the
Motherfucker.
bathroom? Well, I'm not even. I can't even defend myself. You gonna attack me over the
Like he's Michael Jackson. Like he's Michael Jackson.
We gonna smooth. We gonna smooth ignore.
Nah.
Today was a good day. That was your life.
No, you with me. No, you with me.
Hey, Ghost. Hey, Ghost.
Nah,
Hey,
you
Ghost.
with
I
me.
didn't say nothing like that. I didn't say nothing like that, Ghost.
Nah, you were with me. You were like, nah, fuck that nigga. He ain't got Tupac in his blood. He was like a Crip too. Nah, you ain't about that life. He said that shit. He was
Saying,
Crip
next
too.
time
He
you
was
go to the
throwing up all
bathroom.
kind of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell smooth.
I
Threw
told
him
you.
under the bus.
I told you. I'm only here
No,
for
it
the.
wasn't me. It was him too.
No, I'm not. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
you.
nigga's supposed to be my friend though. He barely knows Ghost. Fuck out of here. He's supposed to be riding with me.
So does my kid, and he loves Ghost.
That's only because that nigga looks like Steph Curry and he's that size. If I was
like
6
him, too.
inches
Maybe
taller, he'd
that's
love me
it.
too.
He does love you. He just doesn't love you as much as Ghost.
Yeah, because I'm not. You know what I mean?
I don't look like Steph Curry.
The elevator, and I'm bald as shit. Though the elevator don't go to the top.
He can't see that high either.
He can see me, nigga. I'm only like 4 inches taller than that nigga. Nah, fuck out of here. No. Yeah. I told you I'm only here for the fast breaks anyway. I told you I don't need the chase down block from Ghost talking about I'm here about the Tupac.
saw a lot of those, though.
Yeah.
I scored
We
and I
just-
looked at the crowd.
I'm saying,
just
speaking of
lost
those, you
that
saw a
whole
lot of those
piece.
though.
Huh?
Chase down blocks.
No, I ain't seen none of
you
that.
saw
We
a lot
played
of
half court. You didn't see no chase down, nigga. You weren't running.
No.
You weren't running.
That was in front of 3-point line. Just because I was giving you a head start.
Nah. Ghost used to
Oh,
swat
good
the shit
crossover,
out of
you
me.
got me.
Yeah. It got to the point where I used to just undercut him. Like, I'd act like I'm going there for a layup, and I'd just stop and just bend down. So I'd take that nigga's whole calves out. And he'd be so mad. But I get that 2 points. Only 2 points I'm scoring. And that's the only time he's picking himself up from the ground. But I won. I won.
Yeah, you won.
Is he telling the truth?
11-2. He won.
Yeah. That's true.
Oh, man.
That's true.
I mean, he got one. Like
No,
that was the only basket he got.
No, I had 2 points.
Did you get 2?
Yeah, I
didn't
got
see
2.
that one.
There was one time when my older brother, we were playing basketball at the school behind our house, and there was they were doing some school. So it would be
This is when they were trying to
handicap-
rebuild the pool.
No, they never rebuilt it. Never even put
I
a
was
dollar
in
into it.
high school.
Not a dollar in a dream.
That was like the special school.
Yeah, it was a special school here, and then my junior high that I was attending was across the street from that. Well, they were doing some work there, right?
Oh, yeah.
And my older brother, goes up for a finger roll. It's so clean, and Ghost swatted the shit out of him, and the construction work was like, oh! Ghost dusted himself off and shit. And my brother had to pick up his pride because some other people saw how clean that shit was. That's how traumatic that shit was for him. I remember that shit clean.
When the construction worker says, "Oh,
Yeah.
You fucked up.
No, they were like, oh, and that shit. I remember. Oh man, I remember for once. It was that nigga's turn. You know what I mean?
Did you relish in the moment as a little brother?
Absolutely. You did that shit to me multiple times, but in private. He publicly disgraced my
Nobody
older
else saw
brother.
it. No.
I
Everybody
looked
saw
up
that.
to him until that one moment, and that's when Ghost took over.
We just narrowed it down. We narrowed it down to when
I was like, I could
Ghost
never.
became his number one.
My hero could never. My hero could never get fucking swatted like that, and then have me want to grow up to be like you. You're a failure.
You bum.
You bum.
You bum.
I didn't even respect him anymore. He was like, "Hey man, take out the trash." I'm like, "Nah, nigga."
You get Steve.
I can't.
Get Steve.
I'll go get Ghost to come in here, put his hands on you, like Kevin Hart.
You get trash. You get trash.
Oh man.
Give me the trash.
Oh man. Be like, oh man. I'm gonna fuck you up. Now I get Ghost to come over here and play some defense, nigga. You could get past him. His bodyguard. Oh man. That shit's hilarious. Welcome back to Brilliant Mike. Oh man. If you could hear some of the shit that happens off mic, this shit's nuts. All right, so I'm just looking at the show notes here. I'm assuming that's Arizona woman gets attacked by a fucking leopard at the zoo.
Yeah.
This dumb bitch.
I saw an article.
Yo, bitches is nuts. They falling off on
She's
icebergs.
taking a selfie.
They're falling
Icebergs.
off on icebergs
Yeah.
last week.
Oh, the ice queen.
Yeah.
The real Frozen.
Where you think BK was last week?
Let her go.
Yeah.
Let her go.
He tried. He tried. She came back. She came back, man. It's cold.
That's
It
cold.
was cold.
It was cold. Yeah, it was ice water.
So
Mario.
what happened with this leopard? You said a leopard?
Yeah, so this lady, she went to the zoo in Arizona, and she wanted to get a good picture with the leopard.
She wanted to get a selfie. Don't make it
Yeah.
sound like she wanted to get up nice and close and take a good picture of just the leopard.
Oh, it was a selfie?
It was a selfie.
Okay,
She
so-
climbed underneath the rail to get a selfie with this
Yeah.
damn cat.
And the bitch got mauled.
What is your problem today?
Rio's storytelling skills
God
are.
damn.
He gets straight to the point.
Sucking dick.
And she got mauled.
He has no actual ability
filter.
or
There's no
or
filter.
yeah. There's
tell it like
God
it is.
damn.
I mean,
Showing off in front of Zeus.
Where's
Is
your
this what
love?
this is?
how
No,
stupid
where's
you
your
gotta be, though? I mean,
Was she white?
Yeah.
yeah.
ain't nobody going to go no big ass cat like that.
I thought maybe.
Where's your appreciation for the story, for
She
the
said
theater of
she
the
got
mind?
mauled.
Zero
That bitch
fucks.
got ate,
Zero fucks.
and that bitch got ate.
Man.
That's it. End of the story.
She was kind of shocked afterwards, though. So I mean,
And then he
Concussion-like
bit me.
symptoms.
I don't give a fuck about the story. No, what, I'm trying to figure out what is the issue you got today? What is going on?
Let's dig deep inside
Yeah.
this.
Do you need a hug? He was like, and that bitch got 8, like she should have.
No, mauled.
Nah, he said nah.
So she survived, I
mean-
guess.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for using the word, but
Nah, she could be
No.
a bitch. She got eaten
but
by
I
a
mean,
cat.
but
She's stupid as
when
fuck.
you fall into that category of stupid, I kind of run out of words to.
Well,
You couldn't take a selfie through the cage.
Right?
Yeah,
nah, chain link.
I mean, you just
It's natural
Kinda
selection. Again.
deserve
We
it,
just,
but-
I mean,
What happens if you change your location to Africa, though? Hey, who's sliding in the DMs? You look like you living a life. Who knew you were at the Oakland Zoo? Or Arizona, Phoenix.
I was like, how did we get to Oakland?
Yeah, Phoenix or Tucson. That's where I'm taking my picture. That's all.
safari. She tried to go on a personal safari in Arizona.
Yeah,
Didn't work.
yeah. I bet you I was going to be her Tinder pick, too.
Yo.
Like, oh, look at this big pussy. Who wants a piece? Yuck. Don't ever purr at me on the fucking microphone. That shit sounded terrible. Barr. Who let a donkey in here? That's weird. Oh, no, so
yeah. So she got mauled.
yeah, so she got mauled.
The end of the story is
Were her injuries serious?
No, she
she had a good
survived.
chunk taken out.
She survived, but
Of what?
I think her side.
when are people
I
just
look.
when are people gonna learn not
Not
to
to
try
be
and
stupid?
take fucking pictures with animals?
Well, they say
They're wild animals.
they say there's like the increase of people who like fall off cliffs for trying to get like that perfect selfie angle
Yeah.
is like gone up like 5,000% or whatever. Because I mean, it's probably from like 5 to 100. Because it's not that many people though. We just hear about them because social media spread that bitch's whole life out. Like there was a I was gonna play it last week, but I didn't because BK wasn't here, so she couldn't defend her people. But there was a group of kids out in Alabama, and they were using the hard R, and they put their whole their whole names out, what college they were going to be attending next year, and like addresses and phone numbers and shit. Like the internet's undefeated. The internet's undefeated. So what I'm saying is, I mean, bitch get eaten by a cat. We gonna hear about it. Our lives are too terrible in order for us to pass that up.
Yeah, I guess so.
When I got off of work and you told me that a bitch got eaten by a cat, I was like, man, shout out to my day.
But
Oh, it was just on her arm.
do you think people are ever going to learn?
No.
We just talked about people paying to get their kids in college. They'll never learn the shit.
I mean, but you got to be a certain kind of stupid to go and try to take a picture with a wild animal. I don't care if it's at a zoo or where you think you're at, a safari
Take
experience.
your selfie with the kitty,
whatever.
but stay behind the fence.
Right, like, we're talking about these other people that are privileged and try to send
Don't
their
compare
kids.
the leopard to Michael Jackson, man. That's cold. That's
I'm
cold.
saying about the kids. The
college.
kids
Okay,
going to
okay,
college and stuff.
okay, yeah, okay,
But
the
that's a
other
little
kids.
different. They're privileged and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But that's just you got to be a certain kind of stupid to think that it's okay to go and take a selfie with a wild safari animal. You know, like that it's just not okay. And if you're getting attacked by that kind of an animal at a zoo, you had it coming.
Well, yeah, you can't be surprised.
No.
Yeah, I've walked in a zoo multiple times. I've never been attacked.
Yes.
Yep.
The flamingos never get me.
I usually try to stay out of the exhibits when I go to the zoo.
I mean, the bird cage, you go in there, you know what I mean? Get a bird fall on your shoulder. Never got attacked, though.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never even close.
Or I'm not throwing rocks at the tiger to try and piss it off so
Yeah,
it
and
can
the
jump
monkeys,
out and
yeah.
hunt me down.
But what if you get that right National Geographic photo where that nigga's like leaping at you? Like,
In the zoo, the people in San Francisco, the two guys that got mauled,
what?
There was more people that got mauled.
Yeah.
that it's a old story.
How old?
It's pretty old.
Years?
Yeah, it was years. So these guys were throwing rocks at a tiger at a San Francisco zoo exhibit. The tiger jumped out of its enclosure. It it literally went through the park. It went through the cafeteria area.
Oh, looking
He
for
was
And
him.
just
it
looking
That is
for
right.
tracked them
hungry.
down and fucking killed them.
That was Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Tiger form.
Great.
Only the tiger.
Exactly.
Oh man, he brought the thunder
He was just looking for cereal.
from down under.
That's crazy.
That's a rough. I don't know. I don't know if I could ever hire somebody who got mauled by a cat. You've already shown that you don't have like life skills in order to
Yeah,
manage
that's
this.
what's
Office.
You
gonna
know,
mess
you got
people's
bad
careers
judgment.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You-
so she
you-
got mauled on her arm. So I wonder now, is her selfie taking abilities now hindered?
No, you get a stick. You get one of them old.
That jaguar
selfie
knew where to
sticks.
bite. Stupid bitch.
Guarantee you I guarantee you that was the arm holding the cell phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I guarantee you. He was like, I ain't like my angle.
That was probably part of the lawsuit too. I'm sure they charge her extra for that. She
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
take another selfie.
Oh yeah. Oh man, if they took hers,
Oh,
if they
that'd be
if they gave her the cap deal that everybody's over here like pondering about. Oh, he can't protest. She got no more selfies in the settlement.
She sold out.
She sold out.
Sold out. She only could go into picture booths. Damn.
At
She
the
never-
skating rink.
Her life's never gonna be the same. At the skating rink,
Yeah.
she's definitely a predator. Nobody goes to the skating rink to take pictures as an adult.
But
And you don't
being
have a
Michael
kid.
Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomato.
But I do have a kid, so I do have a reason to be in the skating
If
rink.
it's his birthday.
Yeah, or somebody else's,
Somebody else's.
birthday.
Yeah, if it's a birthday
Yeah.
and you know the person, you don't just get to show up.
I'm here for the birthday.
Yeah. Hey, who are you? I'm the entertainment.
Have you been
what
to a
Mike said.
roller skating ring for a birthday?
2.
Not gonna lie,
Wow.
I went.
I've
I
been to a
went with.
couple.
I went with BK one time to a. She couldn't skate because she was sick, but we know how that goes.
Responsibilities.
Yes. Not her strong suit. Surprise.
I've never been anywhere with me to a skating rink.
Yes, I have.
Where would you go?
We went to the rink.
Did we?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, damn.
Wow. How many men you been to the skating rink with?
Just
Yeah, you were in the knee brace. Were you there earlier?
yeah.
Were you there earlier?
I was on heavy medication. Leave me alone.
Is that his name?
I forgot about that. I was on drugs. Leave me alone.
It's nuts. She just be handing out Hyundais like
Nuts
Oprah.
on her face, is it?
Wow. He just
What is your issue today, my guy? What is the problem?
That's just what I heard. That's what I heard.
that's what you heard.
You heard it, but I just
But you don't normally vocalize.
yo. The last half of this episode
Yeah.
might be therapy.
It's,
We might have live therapy.
Everybody share your feelings, except for Rio, because he's just letting it fly.
Don't say nothing.
yeah, he's got. I mean, he's already said it all.
You know,
He's already
no,
said
he
it
could have said something about let it fly. No, I stepped out in front of that bus for you, BK. You're welcome. Are you crying?
That shit was funny.
Yeah, that's got to be edited out because no one's going to know that I have that relationship with BK
You make her cry?
Did you?
by saying there's nuts on her face.
Oh, but they will after this episode. You can't be flagged 3 times and you just and then be like, cut that all 3 out. Cut the best parts of the show out.
No,
where I was overly aggressive and that bitch got mauled.
I'm okay with that one. I'm okay with that one.
I'm just not okay
I
with
live
nuts
with
on
that,
my
yeah.
face.
Okay.
No, that's too much.
Okay. I feel you.
Says the
Admittedly.
man who
Admittedly.
said it.
Admittedly.
I might just give you a couple censor beeps. Where we just start busting out like, what on earth happened?
I just need a little clicker in my hand.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So what's the?
Yeah.
I hate you so much.
I need you to regather yourself
Stop
and be a
looking at me.
professional and act like you're getting paid.
But we're not. So
I know.
It's hard to feel that way.
Nah,
Look
I
at
can give you a
Ghost.
nickel. If I give you a nickel for your troubles.
All I heard was I'll give you a nipple.
Nah, this is your aggressiveness. Don't act like this. Look,
See, I'm
though.
not the only one anymore.
Nah, when you listen back,
Oh
when you
shit!
listen back, you'll know exactly what happened on this episode. And this actually goes into a good topic because I was going to talk about comedy climate, like how nobody can make any jokes anymore.
Obviously, we can. We got all the jokes.
That's climate change.
Ghost has all the jokes because he has no facial recognition software in his
all the
phone.
jokes.
He has
all
he
the
has no social medias, so he's just walking around.
Saying what I
You
want.
know what I mean?
Expressing myself.
Okay. NWA, Mr. Tupac. Yeah, okay. Spread your okay. Because the only reason I was saying that is just because I feel like nobody can make jokes anymore. Everyone's very people police speech a ton right now, and I feel like as long as we keep policing speech, like I don't necessarily look for a comedian to give me the moral discussion on whatever topic, murder, racism, sexual assault, whatever it is. I think you kind of have to understand that a comic's coming from a point where bad comics use shock and awe, right?
Yeah.
A good comic can formulate a premise and give you a punchline where it's kind of undeniable. But at the same time, you know what I mean? If everybody out there was a Dave Chappelle, there wouldn't be comedy clubs. So I kind of feel like we should allow... I'm not saying... Look, a bad joke is a bad joke. Period. No matter what it's about. Subject, predicate. That was an Ice Cube, my hero. See how I brought that back? Callback was amazing. But whether it's... no matter what it's about or policing in general, you know what I mean? We're not talking even about, pronouns, quote unquote, or genders or what. We're just talking about jokes. Like, why can't we joke anymore? That's a rough life to live when you have to take everything else super serious and you can't even make a joke anymore to kind of lighten the mood. And that's where I feel like, I don't know whether kids are, I understand that kids are like into their feelings a little bit more, but do they not, I mean, because okay, this is weird. This is why I say that. You can't on one hand get mad at every joke and let Boot Gang get rich. All the old people have no idea when I say Boot Gang. It sounds like I'm having a stroke or something, but that's a dude.
Is that the guy that was running in and trashing
Yes.
stuff? Okay.
Oh, you weren't here last week. Yes. So yeah. Last week we talked about Boot Gang. Please refer to episode 5 if you haven't already.
And like and rate and subscribe.
Don't you ever unlike this podcast. I'll send Ghost Defense over there and slap the shit out of you. Oh!
Rio's smart ass mouth.
Get over there to make you feel terrible. And that bitch got them all. That shit is hilarious. No, but I'm just saying, just in general, comedy is at comedy and jokes are at like a really weird moment. I'm not talking about
Crossroads,
yeah, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like an intersection between PC and feelings.
And entertainment, yeah.
And it's a terrible cross section to be at for entertainment value. Like, I don't want to listen to Kevin Hart's kind of funny ass all the time. Right? Like, his acting is okay. I heard everybody get quiet. I heard, you know what I mean? Heartbeat Productions might be paying you niggas, but I'm not getting paid.
I've never been a big Kevin Hart fan.
He's funny.
He's got funny moments. Yes.
Yeah, but he's not diverse. It's always something.
It's always a short joke. It's always.
Oh, there's gonna be a ton of cheating jokes on this next episode for sure. You can't get caught twice and not say something about it.
Okay.
He got caught again?
Yeah, he had the one before his
That
last
was-
episode, and then he had the actual sex tape where the chick was like recording in the mirror. That bitch wanted that footage, and that bitch
TMZ?
got more.
I bet.
With these nuts on her face.
True words have never been spoken.
But he had to get a step stool.
Nah, she dropped it down to the floor. That nigga was standing on his tippy toes though. But all I'm saying is just
Further.
yo, if I'm being correct, this podcast is not reaching episode 6. This episode, this is nuts. All right, that wasn't on purpose. That was a different nut.
Not no more.
Oh. Nah, bro, I'm not letting that roll. Nut no more. Nah, I'm not letting it roll.
I tried.
But what do you guys think about the comedy climate that's coming on right now?
I mean, I think it's. I agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, where do you draw the line with saying certain aspects of free speech aren't okay? Because if you're gonna say a comedian should be able to go out and say, are you saying that they can go out and say or make a joke about whatever they want?
What I'm saying is, if you make it funny, we're okay with it. We've never been okay with bad jokes.
Okay, but blatant racism or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking
Okay,
about
so
hard
as long
R's.
as it's
Yeah.
done in good taste.
Good taste, and you're working on a craft, not somebody, you know what I mean,
See, but then
yeah.
who defines what good taste is?
I think
the
the
problem.
general I
Yeah.
think the general populace can tell you. There's people
No,
who
I
are
don't-
widely
I don't-
accepted, and there's people who have fringe audience.
That's the problem, though. Is
Yeah, I
it can
don't
be a
think-
good joke, and then you get the people, the social media, and they come out and say, "Oh, it's sexist, it's racist,
Yeah.
it's
But you
anti-Semitic,
can't.
whatever."
Yeah, but
and then
you can't let 100 people on Twitter act like they're.
That's what happens. It's to more than 100 now.
But I don't
People
think
can't.
I don't
People
think
can't.
it is.
I
I think it only is on bad jokes. Once again, when we were watching, when I'm on Twitter. Nobody else in this room can talk about being on Twitter, unfortunately, with like a friend
Yeah, no.
No.
here. Where we, you know what I mean? Everything I put up, I could get a like. Doesn't happen.
We don't
to me.
need likes.
No.
I don't either, but it would be nice if you guys.
Well, then why are you
You
talking
sound a little
about it?
thirsty. Like you need some likes. I need some likes.
He's trying to
Try to
get
get some
to
likes.
Saudi Arabia.
That's cold. It's cold, but I'll hold that. I was a little thirsty for love.
Yeah.
I was thirsty for
parched.
love and affection from my friends.
Are you the one that needs a hug?
I might be after. Not from you niggas. Yeah, not from you.
Definitely not Rio.
I'll
And
hug
that
you.
bitch got more.
I'll hug you. I might insult you while I do it though.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I expected that.
Okay.
I didn't expect it on mic. In public, in private, I definitely would have expected.
Neither did I.
But I'm definitely moving a different way. Definitely moving a different way around Rio from now on. Episode 1, I think I said a joke and he wanted to punch me. No, not anymore.
Nope.
Nah, that nigga's a real nigga. He said he didn't have any friends. He didn't have any heroes. I think Tupac might have been his. I think Rio pressured Tupac to be mentioned to Ghost, but it wasn't real. It was rough.
But so do you think? I think that the better the comedian is, maybe they're more untouchable as far as them making a borderline joke. But I still think that it becomes a big depending on how borderline it is. Like some people just like but I still think it becomes a thing if they say a joke and say it's a big, like one of the bigger comedians, like a top 5 comedian, and they say something that like you could take the wrong way. And a bunch of people, especially I'd say specifically like an anti-gay joke. I feel like they're the strongest. They have the strongest support system, and they move things more than any other group of people. I'd say so. I think you'd still be in trouble, no matter what.
But if you want to equal everything, why can't we make fun of you?
I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that today you can't do it
I think you could.
as much.
I think it's taken more as celebratory than anything. Like people really want to just lose the sense of humor of it all.
That's what I'm saying.
They're looking for it. They're looking for
Yeah.
something to be offended, just like they're
Yeah.
looking for the story in anything else. They're looking to be offended so they can jump on and say, oh, they can start a movement, quote unquote. And
From their computer screen.
exactly. It's,
I just think people are just too sensitive nowadays.
soft.
I feel like
See, but it's old people too, though.
yeah,
it's not
but,
just younger
you know,
children. It's not younger people.
comedy is my thing. I've always liked comedy in my movies, stand up comedy, everything. That's what I like. That's what
Yeah.
I enjoy. And a good joke, a good joke is a good joke. And a lot of good jokes is because it's regarding a political topic or a real hot topic at the time, and that's what makes it funny. And I feel like people are just way too sensitive nowadays with a joke. A joke is a joke. I understand in a way there's kind of like a back to it as well, and I get that. But you have to understand that these people, that's what they do. They entertain. And to a lot of people, that is entertainment. So, you can't really be, I don't feel like you should be that upset about a good joke.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. And one thing you said that I actually think kind of goes into this a lot is politics. I feel like politics, the yearning to be right no matter who you vote for or what party you're affiliated with, so you're willing to look over your party's shortcomings. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just talking about the loudest parts of people, of the groups. I feel like that kind of spills over into everything we do now, whether it's pronouns, jokes, everything is kind of, you have the yearning to be liked, and if you say something I don't like, I have to come for your head.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel. And as you can tell by the first hour of this podcast, nobody in this room really feels that way. But I think we're in the minority at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right.
And I think it just I think it's just a yearning to be right on everything. And sometimes it's okay to be wrong about some stuff.
So I'm just thinking right now, being a parent myself, and thinking of the way I'm raising my son. Could it kind of be our fault our faults as parents? Because I try to teach my kid to be like super nice to everybody and be really polite. Does that maybe cater to and end up bringing up somebody that's too sensitive to other people's needs, that they don't want to offend them or do anything?
Yeah, I think it's your fault.
It's
No,
definitely yours.
I'm willing to wear that.
I think
I'll wear
I
it.
think it's just the atmosphere. You can be raised you can be raised a certain way or whatever, but then when you get into school, school follows you home now to social media, and just that, not necessarily pressure, but just that atmosphere, you kind of fall into that trap of, oh, I want to be the person who piggybacks this idea or this movement or whatever it may be, and I think it just turns into you're not really complaining about the actual act at the end of the day. You're just wanting the attention and to make that polarizing of it's not even about the actual bad joke or the discriminating joke they might have made that was funny, that everybody laughed at, including the people who were making they probably laughed before they went on TV and said it was wrong. They laughed when it came on TV. They were laughing. Like, you were laughing. And then all of a sudden, you're in your feelings and it wasn't right, and they should not make jokes about it. And they make jokes about, if you're talking about a specific, like, people that come to Dave, he's making jokes about black people. He's making jokes about, like, equally, everybody. Yeah. And then he makes one joke about someone that went a little too far, and it's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Well, why aren't you standing up for? You want people to stand up for you and be on your side, but why aren't you standing up for the people? And usually, like, say it was a gay joke, they're not mad that he made the black jokes, but they'll be mad that he made the gay joke.
That's a very good point, because I mean they ride real hard for each other too. Like you said, they are one of the most impactful communities when it comes to protesting or doing anything like that and being heard. And I mean, that's an amazing point.
Yeah, I had this conversation with my mom about, your generation is a lot softer than my generation was. I'm like, well, you raised me, so what does that say, Mom?
Yeah, see,
and it was a big, like, oh, shit.
So as a parent, what do you think, too?
Oh, definitely. It definitely has an impact on me.
Do you think we're raising overly sensitive
God,
kids?
I hope not.
I mean, because I joke with my kid at
Yeah.
home, and I try to make sure he has a sense of humor. But at the same time, I always try to make sure he's super aware of other people's feelings and stuff.
Right.
And I mean, that's kind of how I am in person.
Except for today.
Don't
today.
Not today.
don't hold
Not
today.
today.
Don't hold today
On her
against me.
face.
If
Bitch,
you
come
know
on.
me, I am somebody that does try to be really sensitive to other people's.
Which is why it brought me to tears from laughing so hard.
I feel like you had some pinned up. Like you've
Right?
been too nice lately. You know what? Today I
Rio
gotta
needs
let some
therapy.
stuff out. Put some people on
Let
blast.
some people know for sure. You let some people know he wasn't fucking around. the shit can go left.
But I mean, really though, like, are we raising even more a softer generation than what we even are?
Oh, I'm sure.
I think so.
There's always going to be change
slightly.
with it because we're going to see the sides of what our parents did for us. Like, oh, well, you know, I felt really shitty when my mom or my dad did this. I don't want to do that to my kid.
Yeah.
I just want to pose a question to the room. I don't know, but this is just something. Just listening to you guys discuss this and being receptive to what I'm hearing. I would say just listening to just watching shows from the 80s and the 70s and the 60s and everything else. I understand that the 60s and 70s were very sexualized, right? And I feel like there was sexual freedom in during those decades, but I think during the 90s, early 2000s, there was a time where younger people were being sexualized, and sex was overtaking our society, and younger people were having kids, whereas BK and Rio had their children's mid to late 20s. Whereas now you guys were adults raising kids. Whereas our generation were kind of kids raising kids. Like the kids who are 20, who are kids that are 15 to 25, the softer generation, quote unquote, the PC generation, the kids in high school, college, whatever. Some of those kids, I'm not saying all, I'm not saying the majority, I'm just asking the question. Do you believe that the fact that some of those kids were being raised by people who didn't have anything figured out, the fact that they were younger parents, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, grew up while their parents were trying to find themselves,
That definitely can have an effect for sure.
and the fact that just society, I think society changed a ton during the 90s. Like from the 90s to, I mean, we always had like celebrities in history, period, but like 2000, that was like super sexualized Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Super sexualized everybody. No matter how young of a teen star you were, it was your sex appeal that was still marketed. And I think that might be the first time that's actually like people did it during the 60s and 70s with like the Beach Boy haircut and the heartthrob. But I think it was just kind of different. It was a different, the sex appeal instead of the good old boy appeal in the 90s to 2000s, early 2010s. Up to 2010,
all
from 1990 to 2010, I feel like our society in America anyway has been overly sexualized.
So how do you think that impacted it?
I think people were overly sexualized, and then you had the combination of broken homes, people who grew up without broken homes, because 60s, 70s, people stayed together.
So do you think coming from broken homes ended up in people being overly sensitive?
No, I think people having children at a young age and not really knowing anything and kind of being thrown into a situation before they may have, quote unquote, been ready. Like if you're 17, if you're 18, you have a kid. I don't think you necessarily know how to instill the morals you want into your child. I'm not necessarily sure if somebody who's 16, 17, single mom trying to work, I think maybe society may or you may be susceptible to society raising your child a little bit more.
And you just think society has gotten more sensitive as a whole?
Yeah, because I think it's always gone that way.
Okay.
And I think it's just been a stronger uptick in the last decade.
And are you just talking about single parents or young single parents now?
I'm just talking
Or back to
I'm
the
just talking about in
90s?
2000. I think it's more.
And the only reason why I ask is because my sister, she had her daughter, my niece, when she was 18, but that was back in the 90s, and she was still able to instill a lot of morals and values, even though she didn't raise her daughter in the ideal household, so to say.
I don't necessarily know if I think this is a majority thing, because I don't think the majority of people are. I think it's a silent majority that actually isn't sensitive. I think. Okay, what I'm saying is everybody in this room right now is not sensitive, right? Who else other than me has a Twitter? Okay, who else other than me, including me, who else other than me tweets? And I don't tweet because I just don't give a fuck about what other people think, nor do I think people care enough, other than this podcast, of course, to hear what I think. And I don't, my issue, the reason why I don't tweet is because there's in 140, 120 characters, that means letters and spaces and punctuation. I just don't think you can get context out of it. So I never want to jump out the bridge on somebody that can misconstrue what I say, because I never want to make, especially if I'm going at somebody's neck. If I'm going at somebody's neck, I don't want to just jump out the window and have that person hear something and I'm trying to convey one thing, and when you read it, I mean, it happens all the time in our text messages, right? We've all had a text message that we've written in a jokey with a smile on our face, and our spouse and or friend has come back and was like, "Yo, that shit was wild," and you're like, "No, I was just joking, bro." And a message is unlimited. A tweet is very limited.
Yeah.
But I think this different generation, they want that retweet. You know, they want that follow.
For sure.
You know, that's what it really all comes down to.
I'm also not sure that a lot of this outrage, even when it is the PC police, is still fake. I still think it's fake. I still think the protests / Kevin Hart shouldn't host the Grammys / you can't make that joke / all those people. I think all those people are the same. I think everybody, like, okay, for instance, the reason why I like to keep the room that I have and the people I like to associate with is because I don't think anybody's absolved of groupthink, of the effect of groupthink, where the people around you, if you keep talking into an echo chamber and you keep thinking that everybody around you is very smart, is a lot smarter than you, I think that you're susceptible to falling into the wrong habits. Because if you don't have diversity, you can't learn. So I think as people keep moving to an extreme, whether you're talking about a bad extreme or a good extreme, whatever your feelings are, it's still an extreme. And unless you can have a positive discord, episode 5, and actually be able to discuss something without getting in your feelings and being quote unquote triggered, I don't think you could ever actually have an open mind to listen and actually try to become a better person. I think you become the person you think is better, not necessarily being better. Now, I'm no expert.
No.
But for a small price. Okay.
And a McChicken.
Let's see what you did there. No, that's on real. I don't give.
Yeah, that's on me.
Yeah, real
That's
stuff.
on me.
You ain't listening to episode 5 either. Like I said, I'm not necessarily sure how this is just a theory. I can be moved off of this with fact. This is just a feeling I have, just based on what I see and the information that I gather based on informational points of reading Twitter.
Basically, yeah.
Because you can read somebody's
scientific.
Twitter, and 6 months ago they were talking wild, and then something happened, and all of a sudden they become PC. Now you don't know what happens.
Or
in
the
that
flip
person's
around
life.
and
or
they're-
yeah, or the opposite.
Rio.
Or you can live in Utah, and you just use the N word. You know what I mean? It could be because there's no black people in Utah,
Yeah, I don't think there is.
or a black person in Utah. When there's one, you don't give a fuck about that person's feelings. You make fun of that nigga all day. So that's all I'm saying is I think we could be seeing the effects of people who aren't ready doing stuff that they're not ready for. And it's not just the effects on them. As you grow and you become a different person, if you had a baby at 16, when you're 32 and you're a teenager, when I was a teenager, you couldn't tell me shit. When my mom was like, "Oh, hey, you'll understand when you're older." As I'm older, absolutely I understand. But in that moment, fuck out my face.
You don't care.
What'd you say? Nothing.
See, but at the same time, if you attributed all these changes to that aspect,
not all of it.
not all of it.
Not
Okay.
all of it. Not all of it. I think it's just another point on a graph that contributes to what we are in. I think there's a bunch of stuff.
It's layers.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of stuff. I think we also talked about in episode 1 that our generation was kind of the go to college generation,
And I
and
think
college is liberal.
I think it might be the catalyst for the whole change as a whole, because of most
Go
of
to
the
college?
No,
Okay.
to be more sensitive to other people and about things, because most of the people that I know that are older than me, none of them feel the way I do or the newer generation does about, being PC or something like that.
I think people, in my opinion, I think people are confusing empathy with political correctness, though. Because I don't think everybody should. I think there's a time and place for everything. If you're in a comedy show and somebody says something offensive and you say you can't make that joke, why can't you make that joke? Because I think there's a strong contrast between people who think that people who make jokes also don't take a situation serious, and I think those two things are not connected.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happens in a comedy show, because your sensibilities are offended. I think you maybe should do a little bit more research on the comedian you're going to go see.
I think people may jump to conclusions and think that the jokes that people tell are actually how they feel and actually what they believe.
But isn't that what
that's not the case?
Isn't that what social media is all about? Is jumping to conclusions and not really judging a person's personality and points
Let me
of
get a
information?
horn.
Okay.
But I mean, a comedian is the same thing as an actor. They're there to do a job. They're there to entertain you. You paid to go there and to be entertained. Just like you pay to
you
go to
not
a movie.
entertained?
I think you're true. I think you're being honest. I think you're on it. But I think there is a seriousness that people contribute to, or attribute to comedians where their jokes are based on life.
Yeah.
And I think people go into an actor and they expect them to be good liars.
Because it's a script. Because it's not really it's something they wrote.
Yeah. And I think also, what I mean? Actors catch the heat for when they're portraying something that they're not. Like when Scarlett Johansson was portraying a transitioning person, or I hates the word homosexual
Are you
because
talking about Monster?
No.
Oh.
Was that Hallie?
No.
Oh, that's Monster's Ball. That's my shit.
No.
Wrong monster.
I don't know what. No.
Wasn't that
whatever
she
the movie
was a
was, she backed
killer
out
or
of it.
something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever the movie was, she backed out of it.
Oh, okay.
She didn't shoot it because she was catching the heat.
Okay.
So, I think, like I said, I just don't, like, me personally, I don't want to go to a comedian. I don't want to go to a actor. I don't want to go to a basketball player. I don't want to go to a pastor. I know it sounds terrible, but I don't want to go to a pastor
Nah, that's just true.
for my morality.
How
There's
about
too much money in all that shit for people to have morality.
And too many Roberts.
Yes. Yes. I agree, 100%.
Roberts.
There's way too many Roberts with K's at the for their last name. Yuck. All of them. To me, it's the same thing. Who's the dude in Houston?
James Harden.
Let me rephrase the question.
I thought I won the prize.
Nope, just some terribly horns.
He's not getting my McChicken, that's for sure.
Whammy.
No
Wham, you're old
whammies.
as shit. Press your luck.
Yeah.
Either you're old as shit or you watch a lot of Game Show Network.
Right.
And both of them are sad as fuck.
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna lie.
wasn't by choice.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
You know you liked Match Game.
What was that going?
You said someone in Houston. you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is the Joel Osteen?
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
Joel Osteen before the big flood in Houston was the guy. He was, you know what I mean? Nobody found any fault with him. Nobody knew anything. The floods came and Noah never opened that damn ship until he caught the smoke.
Oh, for not opening the door. He didn't open the door.
He didn't open the doors until he caught the heat. Talking about it was flooded in there, right?
You
A
think?
week later, no, 2 days later, niggas are in there, dry, happy, loaves and fishes. That let me know I will never trust a nigga who has a private plane. Anybody who has a private plane can't have my money. No. Unless somebody with a private plane wants to donate me some money. Then,
We can talk.
If they put you on, then
yeah.
you're on board. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I feel like you're doing the people's work. I feel like this, you know what I mean? If you don't want to get mold, bitch.
Put me on this motherfucking plane. No snakes.
But what I mean, what do you guys think about just the morality of entertainers in general? Just because I never understand why those are the people we choose. We never look at politicians, the people who run on morality, the people who campaign on morality, the people who are supposed to be moralic. Is that a word?
Moral.
We
think
are
it's just
brilliant
moral.
and idiots. So
Yes.
I will. We have brilliant minds. I'm cutting that shit out. Way too
Redo.
Charlemagne-ish.
Redo.
Yeah. So we have brilliant minds, but we don't know shit. So moralic.
There we go.
Yeah. Moralic.
I mean, that's not who I go to get my morals from. That's not who I care to hear from. I'm not gonna go and listen to a stand up and become that person because, I mean, I understand it's purely entertainment, and it's just it's nonsense for people, and it's so ass backwards because in this country, people look up and admires the wrong people. There's so many people that do, yeah. There's so many people that don't do shit for regular people, and they could give two shits about us, and they'll take our money. You could go buy their products, and they'll fake love towards you for that. But at the end of the day, it's all money motivated.
Oh, I was just going to say, I can't even trust my own morals, let alone somebody else's. I have a notepad on my desk that says, don't ask me for moral advice. I have questionable morals.
I mean, yeah, I don't. People act like. I think the thing is when you see the big national news networks, either one,
Which all they do is pump morality.
right, yeah.
Only thing they do is televise morality
But here's the thing: is
from billionaires with private planes,
it's
which should not be trusted.
yeah, it's challenging their side of the story. If you watch a stand-up comedian who has something bad to say about, say, a side of a story, like maybe it's abortion, maybe it's economy, more maybe it's foreign policy, and they say something negative about it, that might not be that comedian's. That just might be the easy joke for that week. That might be the easy target. But now one of the news networks is going to come down against it and say, oh, how dare him speak out against this? And that might not even be his. I'm going to him for entertainment. I'm not going to him he's not going to change my stance. He's not going to change how I feel about any political topic, about any social topic. It's just that's not where I go for that. Neither
That's
is
not where I
actors.
go for that
neither,
information.
Neither is music. Music can inspire me in some of those things, but I'm not going to. I might think about some things, but I'm not going to.
Right. You listen to R.
It's
Kelly and you're not a
entertainment.
pedophile.
It's all entertainment.
Nah, Tupac, come on.
But
But Tupac can't
yeah.
be. Yeah, Tupac can't be your hero, and you ain't never wanted to, make sure your fofo, make sure all them kids don't
They don't
grow.
grow. No.
You know what I mean? Can't do that.
I mean, to me, Dave Chappelle's the exception because I listen to him and I walk away learning shit, and I listen to him and come
Hey,
away
he still made a joke last year about the rape hotline in Houston.
yeah.
So I think he's just really fucking funny.
Yeah, but there's a lot of knowledge wrapped in what he does.
Yeah.
It's like a pig in a blanket.
I always walk away feeling a need to look into something more.
Yeah.
Yes,
And-
I
But you're
100%
looking into it though. You're not necessarily.
Yeah.
So using him as, oh, now I feel this way because, but I think he's built his image, and people, there's some people like him in different industries, but he's built his image and his popularity on just not caring. Yeah. And so it's very easy, not very easy, but he gets away with this stuff a lot easier than any other comedian will, because people know he doesn't care. So I mean, but yeah, he definitely does have some depth to his jokes.
I'm gonna pose this question to BK.
Right.
Don't mess up.
Do we think that the reason why comedians are catching all the brunt force of the PC culture is because people who tell jokes, no matter how ugly you are, you have a chance? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the most handsomest dude.
No.
Kind of funny. Married. You know what I mean? Like, we all know the dude who can get a joke off on look, or get a woman or a relationship off of looks.
Jim Gaffigan. He's not an extremely attractive man, but he's funny.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know who Jim Gaffigan is?
I heard of
The
him. I've
Hot
seen
Pocket guy.
Hot Pocket.
Crispy, crunchy, tender, flaky.
Pocket.
He
sings
real,
that jingle?
He's real popular among the whites.
I wonder why. The whites love him.
Yeah.
Never
but
mind
that's
who
what I'm saying.
introduced it to me. We'll just go back in circles.
So like one thing I want to point out, like especially since I was talking about Dave Chappelle, I have a buddy who being a person who has read and tried to learn a lot about black people and their history here in this country. When I hear Dave Chappelle
Pause.
talk about
No,
Emmett
pause.
Till,
No, stop. Me and Ghost have done no research.
but y'all live it. Y'all live it.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
So when I hear a story, when I hear him talk about Emmett Till in one of those last stand-ups on Netflix, I have a buddy who said he never knew about Emmett Till. He never knew. And he said because he watched a stand-up, he was like, "Hey man, did you know that?" And I was like, "Yeah." But that's how broad of a reach that he has. He can tell people these things, and there are people that have been here. I mean, my buddy, he's in his 40s, and this was the first time he ever heard about Emmett Till. So
It was the
Ghost,
first time
was it-
also that Zero has ever heard of.
No, I've just never heard another gentleman that's not black say, I researched black history on his own.
He's still
like
stunned.
you didn't major in black studies. I was gonna just
That's
say
all
this.
Google search and Wikipedia.
I was just gonna say this. Yo, me and
I do
Ghost,
what I can.
we gotta have like study hall or something. This nigga Rio's more pro black than we are,
No,
and we live it.
I studied too. I think you're just the only one who didn't study.
You ain't study shit.
I studied.
You ain't study shit.
Studied my history.
Nah, you didn't know who Emmett Till was before
You
today.
just spit in
know
a
who
jar and
Emmett
got
Till
some
You
DNA
I
results.
saw you on your phone just now Googling.
No.
No, you had the face like, oh.
I was Googling the Hot Pocket guy. I still don't know who that is.
I still don't know who that is either.
Oh my
Jim Gaffigan.
You knew his name. I still
Goes,
forget.
Hot Pocket.
See,
I've heard
thank
that.
you.
And those are good.
Like the
but
jingle,
watched
like Pusha T?
No.
Like he created it?
He just talks
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
about how
He
bad
has
they
a
jack
whole
up your
skit
stomach.
about it. Yeah.
Oh,
He's
I
like,
thought
you
he
might
was
as
like
well-
crispy, crunchy, tender, flaky crust. I thought he was that
But
guy.
No.
I don't think it was raised on
Twister?
him like some of us. So I mean, that's comfort food.
Yeah, Hot Pockets.
Oh, he looks like a Jim Gaffigan.
He totally does.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is it because that guy's ugly but can get girls because we all know
He's
the guy
funny.
who can tell jokes.
Yeah.
The guy who can tell jokes and get women. That's my life. You know what I mean? Uncle Phil wasn't smashing. I mean, he had two Vivs.
And nobody noticed.
No, everyone noticed. Nobody talked about it. Two black women, they would have just killed that bitch off back in the 70s. She just would have left and got cigarettes and never came back. So the fact that they just replaced her, that's a win.
Smooth
That's a
replacer
win.
too.
We're not bringing no voice to that BK. We know there was dark skin and Viv and light skin and Viv. Allow them both to be queens. Anywho, I think that's why comedians catch a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's why comedians catch a lot of heat because it's level playing ground for the vagina. I've been out the game, so I'm an unbiased spectator
Ghost.
watching from the sideline. What
Ghost,
about
how
you,
funny
Rio?
do you have to be?
You an unbiased spectator?
What about me?
I'm just asking questions.
Unbiased spectator to what?
Yeah. Oh.
Undercover.
That's the answer.
Okay.
Next
I hear
person.
you giggling over here.
What?
You just laughing at a bunch of random niggas' jokes?
Yeah.
Oh. You can't keep it real. It's the realest podcast I ever wrote.
Yep. That's the realest I ever wrote.
It's the realest shit I ever wrote. So this episode 6 is the week after daylight savings time.
Yeah.
We never got our reparations, so we never had 40 acres and a mule. So
To hell with daylight savings time.
niggas got DVRs. You can catch the nightly news. What the fuck I gotta lose an hour during Christmas? You lose an hour of daylight during Christmas for a farmer. Yeah, we can get to the shits quicker on New Year's Eve, but that's never gonna stop. What the fuck we gotta have daylight savings time for? You know I really feel that shit because my voice just went hella high.
Right.
And it wasn't a Mickey Mouse impression. But yeah, what? Nigga, give me the sun. Give me that vitamin D, not the nuts on your face.
I was gonna say you need to watch out.
Yeah.
Well, we just gotta
I'm
watch
not
out
leaving
for you.
Not leaving no open-ended jokes over here while fucking the sniper, formerly known as Rio's, out here capping people's heads off. God damn. And that bitch got ball. God damn. But yeah, so yeah, I just don't understand. I didn't understand why we still do. And I think Arizona's the only state that doesn't do daylight savings time.
No, Hawaii
There's a
doesn't
couple.
do it either.
Yeah, I think there's.
Like Indiana, I think somewhere over there. There's a couple, but
Hawaii.
not many. Hawaii doesn't, yeah.
Is it Missouri or
Somewhere over there.
one of
Is
those
Alaska?
two. Missouri ain't nowhere near Alaska.
I'm asking if Alaska. There's a question mark at the end of that. You.
It goes. You've lived in Alaska before because you were in the military.
Yeah.
You've seen the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
Is that shit dope as it
It is dope. It's pretty dope.
Damn.
It's pretty amazing.
I'm gonna have to go.
It's pretty amazing.
Did you get to see HARP?
AARP.
HARP. H
What's hard?
HARP. It's some sort of like satellite or something.
Hit a
that they
regular
have
ass
up
guy in
there.
the face. Heart.
Bitch
Oh, I know
got
what you're talking
mauled.
Well,
about.
they say it sends like stuff up into the atmosphere. And
No, BK made a joke. Respect your gangster.
I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear
She
it.
said
either.
bitch got mauled.
He's too busy still putting nuts on my face.
Wow. You just can't let it go.
No.
Mrs. Rio. I ain't see shit. They sit on the
I
opposite
didn't
side of the
say
room.
his balls.
No, you nigga, you kind of
Yeah,
did.
you just did.
No, I can't call you that. No, BK, you kind of did. You kind of did.
After you already called her that about 5 times
Right.
this episode.
Yeah, that's about the seventh one.
Thank you. I'm glad that somebody else noticed. I was like, what?
She's like, what am I going to say to that?
She was
I
like,
can't say what I really want to
I've
say.
been accepted.
I was being.
They see me as one of their
He
own.
revoked it. No. He got rejected like a ghost, like a zero Big Brother layup by Ghost.
I'm just making sure that you got my SAT payment.
I did not. And I still got Audrey Hepburn from you.
She's such a wonderful person.
She might be.
Wasn't
Wasn't she the last person who wore those Tiffany diamonds?
No.
Who's the other person? Oh, was it Marilyn Monroe?
What are you talking about?
President?
No.
Right?
No,
Princess
at the
Diana?
Grammys, they
What
were
are you
talking
talking
about old meat dress wearing ass
Yeah,
face
Lady
ass
Gaga.
bitch.
Lady
Yeah,
Gaga?
she was wearing the Tiffany diamonds.
No.
Oh.
Audrey Hepburn did Breakfast at Tiffany's. It's a movie.
Close.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. You're looking at me like you don't know.
Don't know why that needed to be said.
I'm clarifying the Tiffany's thing.
No. There was somebody else. Lady Gaga wore the diamonds from Tiffany.
Like a Tiffany's dress or something like that.
Yeah, she was wearing diamonds by Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Who was the person who wore them before?
Oh, I don't know.
Because it wasn't Regina King who should have worn them. In February.
Yeah.
Nah, you gotta respect the queen a little bit more. I don't want to see her in just diamonds.
They were Tiffs, though.
I don't care. Cover it up.
What if they were Haddish?
Keep your respect, girl.
What if they were Tiffany Haddish?
No.
Keep that queen covered.
Yo, why are you so disdained over Tiffany Haddish? You don't like Groupon?
I mean, Regina King's been around too long. Why would she wear a person who came along after
Yeah,
her?
she ain't thirsty like that. She ain't coming out in some diamonds covered like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying there was an article about them fucking diamonds. So they must have been fucking important. Don't know why the meat wearing dress lady ass who didn't win shit other than Song of the Year. Oh, surprise, the artist could fucking sing.
They're just really old.
Man,
diamonds.
I ain't even that salty over that meat.
You're just jealous that you didn't get a piece of the meat.
Oh, wow.
Throw it on the barbecue.
You are the salt to put on the meat.
I am. Rub all over that shit.
Sprinkle it around.
Organic Salt Bay. That me.
Little Himalayan.
Yeah.
Or just
No,
sea
not
salt.
little pink Himalayan.
Ooh.
She is Lady Gaga. It's the color of the salmon for sure.
Is it just Salt Bay or is it Salty Bay?
Why are
No,
you doing
salty
bad?
is gross. Salt is just right. Salty baby. Salty baby. I'm here for you. Rub my salt on you.
I think it's kind of gross when you say baby.
Yeah, you can't say that in a Michael Jackson episode. You're right. My
Really,
bad.
in any of our episodes.
Yeah.
Thus far.
It's never appropriate.
Yeah.
No, but Lady Gaga has.
So some other trash on it.
Kobe.
Oh man, that shit was too easy. What's going on, BMI show listeners? This is Zero here. We had a technical issue that caused us to lose a portion of the show, but we were over 2 hours, so what I mean, we let you guys go off of this. But before the end of episode 5, we did want to send thoughts and prayers. I understand how cliche or the stigma around thoughts and prayers right now, but with the BMI show, there's not much more we can do, but to be publicly backing the people of New Zealand. And thoughts and prayers to the families of the people who were affected in the incident that happened out there. I don't necessarily want to put too much love on the incident. I just want to put love in the hearts of the people who were affected by that tragedy. I also want to send some love out to Paris Jackson, who Michael Jackson's daughter, who she had a self-harm incident this week, and the report said it was due to the fallout from the documentary. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. I want to send her love, and hopefully she can get through this tough time in her life. But until next week, which we will be back, please support the people who support this show. Go to the Bohemian Merchandise Hub in the North American continent. The Bad Kitty T-shirt boutique. Go get your Bohemian Hoe merchandise and get all the hoop earrings you want. Flip-flops, you know what I mean? You get a bracelet, get some rings, do the whole craft special. But until next week, be safe, fill your hearts with love. Reach out to us. You can send your questions, thoughts, love to the BMI Show 18 on Facebook and Instagram. You can also email the show at bmishow18@gmail.com. We are now on YouTube. Yes, that's right. There's no video. It's just the audio as well. But for people who don't want to listen to the podcast through other means, we are on YouTube. You can search BMI Space Show or The Brilliant Minds of Idiots. You should be able to find episode 5 is on YouTube. So we should be able to view it that way. We're just getting started. So until next week, stay blessed. We out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.